will get the glory, Lord. Let it not be by might, not by any power, but by your Spirit. By your Spirit, Lord. By your Spirit. By your Spirit, Lord.
Papa, oh, flow through Grenada, Lord, release your fire now. Papa, oh, flow through Grenada, Lord, release your fire now. Papa, oh, flow through Grenada, Lord, release your fire now. Papa, oh, flow through Grenada, Lord, release your fire now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Purify our hearts. Purify our souls. Revive the fire. 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 Papa, oh, flow through Grenada. Release your fire now. Papa, oh, we cry out to you. Flow through Grenada, Lord. Release your fire now. Release the fire. Release the breakthrough. Release the healing. Release the deliverance. Release the breakthrough. Release the anointing. We need your fire. We need your fire. We need your fire to burn down every witchcraft altar, Jesus. God, we need your fire to burn down every idol. We need your fire to burn down every spirit of corruption. God, we need your fire. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A blessed and pleasant good night to our listeners and viewers. I want to say thank you for taking this opportunity to be with us tonight here at Hope 103.1, 94.1 FM. I'm in studio here tonight, and it's our program which we started every first Monday in the month, where we talk about, where someone comes in and share their testimony. We begin with Brother Alvin Roberts. You had myself, you had Pastor Sam, you had my sister Angel, and tonight we have my brother from another mother, Brother Alister Stanislaus. And the gentleman here has a testimony like you've never heard before. We were talking about revival in its truest sense. Yes, we're talking about Brother Alister Stanislaus. I want to say good night to you and welcome to Revive Grenada. Back to basics. And back to basics is really letting people know that God's word still works. You understand? A lot of people in Grenada today don't recognize that they can still trust in the undiluted word of God. And it has the power and the ability to set men free. So, Brother Stanislaus, I'll be the one asking her 2 questions tonight, but nonetheless, when you feel free, whenever you want to, just share as the Lord lead you, and I'll hush me mouth. Because it's not my story, it's yours. I already shared mine, but I just feel like tonight, and I was debating, Holy Spirit, should I join my brother? Should I not? Should I? And then I feel like the Holy Spirit say, go ahead. So I say, all right, good, I'll join you. All right? So I'm multitasking. So, good night. How was your day today?
Pleasant good night to all the listeners out there in Grenada, Hope FM. My day was pretty good, pretty hectic as normal. A normal day for me is actually from 4 in the morning, devotion.
Yeah.
And then probably up to about 6 o'clock most days for now.
And then what time you gonna sleep then?
I normally goes to bed about 10, between 10 and 11.
Okay.
Gets back up again for 4 o'clock, do devotion, start all over.
10 and 11.
Yeah.
That's really boy.
Yeah, well,
Alright. So every person who sat on this program to share their experience with God, always, and even myself, we always go back to the beginning. And I mean, when we look at the present, what we can see is where we are in Christ now, saved and sanctified by His blood. But many people would see us and don't understand the road we had to walk to actually get here. And each and every one of us had to walk that road. Though it may be, it's all different, but at the end of the day, it's the same.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
the same
exactly.
because salvation is what it is.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like being saved and being able to testify about God's greatness, regardless if the story is same, is different, the result is the same.
The same result.
And the end also is the same. When I say the end also is the same, what I mean is the destination.
Yeah.
Right? So once we stay on that path, we already know the victory is ours in Jesus' name. Right? Because
Amen.
you already won it. So
Amen.
I kind of want you to, as we start tonight, kind of go back, post salvation. Yeah. And everybody, most like people like to be excited about pre-life as seen.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's nothing to be excited about in terms of when you're living in sin. But when you get past it and know you're saved and know that you're covered by God, it's a great thing. So I want you to just bring me back as far as you can possibly go, or whatever where you think like God will, because it may have real far you could go back, but go as far as you think is necessary, and let's come up with it.
First of all, I want to thank God because just the fact that I'm actually sitting here at Hope FM studio, for me it's a blessing, and to be able to share what God has done in my life and where God has taken me from, because I always like to start with my birth. I was born by a 14-year-old mother and a 16-year-old father,
Right.
and a father that I never knew until I was 13 years old. And by that time, he was a chronic alcoholic. So I actually grew up with my grandparents, who I never knew to be unbelievers.
Wow.
So I actually started off in a Christian home, but somewhere along the line, I fell off the handle because I actually ran away from that Christian home. And I ended up basically on the street of River Road. I was living with I call her my aunt, but is my mom husband, who later became my stepfather. I lived with her, but she had 12 children of her own.
Right.
So it was a small house full of children. So we basically ran up and down in River Road. I left a stable house, and I lived in River Road for a while. And when my mom realized what was happening, she took me to Trinidad. And I think when I got to Trinidad, I think a lot of things changed because I went into a home that was very abusive.
Abusive how though?
Physically abusive.
Like
My
people-
stepfather was physically abusive to my mom.
Okay.
And by the time I get to Trinidad, I was 16, and there is no way a 16-year-old gonna see his mom being physically beaten by another man and don't intervene. So eventually, I broke my stepfather 2 hands.
What you did that, boy?
Yeah, with a baseball bat.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I ended up on the street of Trinidad and Tobago. So at 16 years, I was actually homeless in Trinidad. And I lived homeless on the street of Trinidad and Tobago for 2.5 years. And then eventually I got into trouble in Trinidad and I had to come back to Grenada. But lo and behold, when I came back to Grenada, I did not stay in Grenada. I went back to Carriacou because I knew my father was actually in Carriacou.
Okay.
But when I got back to Carriacou, he was not in a state of mind really to even show me anything or teach me anything, even though we didn't know each other. So we never see eye to eye, basically.
Right.
And I mean, eventually I left Carriacou and I ended up in the United States.
But how you end up there?
I actually got on a yacht. It's a kind of story where I needed to get somewhere out. I needed to get out of Carriacou because there was absolutely nothing going on, and I just believed there was something better out there. So I'm sitting on the seashore one day, and a gentleman come and say he's looking for a crew to take a boat to Miami. And I remember I got on a bicycle, grabbed my passport, put a couple of pants and jerseys in a bag.
Yeah.
And I left Carriacou that same day. 9 months later, I came back. Actually, everyone thought I died.
So you just gone missing.
I just
Nobody
gone missing.
knew where you
Nobody
were.
knew where I went. But I just felt that I had to get out because to me there was nothing happening for me in Carriacou. But I'm sharing all this because all this is part of the testimony where my life, do I think that I'm making the right decision, but my life continued to spiral downhill.
Wow.
Because as much as I'm seeing new things, I'm also experiencing hardship. Because eventually I stayed in the Bahamas for a while, and then I decided to go and live in the United States. But while I lived in the Bahamas, I became homeless again.
So you was homeless 2 times.
That was the second time I became homeless.
But how is that for like and you were, what age you were at that time?
At that time I was somewhere about 2021.
So you're in a place where you basically don't know
No family member.
anybody,
No
nobody
family
whatsoever.
member.
And
But mind you, I was working for a lot of money.
even while you were homeless.
Even while I was homeless. And I was homeless because although I was working for a lot of money, there was holes in my pocket. I call it holes in my pocket because it comes in on a Friday, but before Monday, all falls out.
Where did it fall? You fell. Where did it fall?
Because of the lifestyle I was living.
Oh.
And so I'm running woman, I'm partying, doing all kind of craziness, not saving any money, not thinking about tomorrow. I'm just living.
Okay.
And though I'm working for a lot of money, I'm living in a car.
So you had a car?
So I had a car. I was actually I lived in a car for more than a year. And
So so we used to be in
so the Bahamas set up in a way where the hotels and them they have jacuzzis that you could just go and you use the jacuzzi, their shower, that where you could use the shower with warm hot water because normally what people do, they take a shower before they go to the jacuzzi, or sometimes when they come from the beach they just take a shower before they get back to the room.
So that's like the outside.
Right. So normally I would have used those showers. I would have used and because I slept in the hotel parking lot for months upon months.
Nobody recognized?
No, because in the Bahamas, in the Bahamas how it operates is 24 hours.
Okay.
Because their nightlife goes all night. So there's always workers in the hotel. So there's always vehicle in the parking lot.
Okay.
So I would just park in the parking lot and I would sleep there for months upon months. But eventually I got tired of that again and I decided to go and live in the United States.
So how did you get back there at that time? What did you do? You take a boat? You took a plane?
No, I took a plane. I actually bought a Bahamian passport.
Okay.
So I bought a Bahamian passport, and in the Bahamas at that time, they had pre-cleared flights from the Bahamas. I guess because they are so close and the relationship, you didn't have to clear immigration.
This is like
in the
US in a sense.
Yeah, right. So I bought a Bahamian passport and I flew from Nassau to Miami. Lo and behold, when I got to Miami, I had absolutely no money because I lost my wallet on the airport.
So you lost your wallet, you lost your money, you lost your ID.
Yeah, lost ID,
You had a
everything.
passport?
I had my Grenadian passport. I had my Grenadian passport.
But the one that you
Together,
you
no,
bought-
I had the Bahamian passport,
had
but I
the
also had
passport
my
one.
Grenadian
Okay.
passport.
Right.
But I traveled on the Bahamian passport. Now, I paid for a hotel for 1 week, and the hotel provided meals. So after the week, I became homeless again. So that was my third homelessness in my life.
So at that point, being homeless, like, where were you staying though? In one time you was in a car. Did you sold a car before you?
No, actually, I left the Bahamas because I got into some trouble
Yeah.
with a gang. Actually, well, part of a gang. I was coming out of a nightclub with a female, and her boyfriend was outside
Okay.
waiting, and I did not know. So when I got outside, I had on a gold chain, and the gentleman came up to me and he grabbed the gold chain and he said, "What you doing, my girl?"
Wow.
So I was shocked. Then he yanked the gold chain and he burst the gold chain. So I decided to run to my car, which was a stupid idea.
Yeah.
I ran to my car and I opened the trunk and I took out a long knife. And while I'm walking back towards the way the situation started, I saw a gang of men coming towards me. So the only thing I could have do was turn around and run.
So you didn't even take the car at that time.
And I ran and I jumped a wall, I jumped a fence, and that is the first time I knew that I probably would have died. Because I jumped a fence into mangrove area,
Yeah.
and them guys actually jumped the fence behind me. But I actually crawled between the mangrove because it was dark. They couldn't see me, so I crawled underneath the mangrove, and I stayed there, and I could actually hear them walking on the mangrove over me.
Yeah.
And eventually they left, and when I came out, that car was completely destroyed.
So they mashed it up completely.
They mashed it up completely. And I think that was one of the reasons I decided to leave the Bahamas and
stay there, man, be a dead man.
Yeah, and go to the United States.
So hold on. So when you left, you went to the US. You come back after 9 months, and you leave again. You tell anybody at that time? You told persons where you going that time?
Yeah, at that time when I came back to Grenada, I actually went back to Carriacou. Not stayed in Carriacou. I came back to my grandfather. Came back to my grandfather, but I went to Carriacou so people knew that I was alive.
Right. Okay.
And but at that time I could go back to the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Right, because actually at one point I had a work permit in the Bahamas.
Okay.
Because I was working.
So wait, so how long you stayed there then?
I ended up staying in the Bahamas for about almost 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, about almost 3 years I lived in the Bahamas. Because when I came back for the first 9 months, I was not working. I actually got involved with a program when we got the boat to Miami. The people had a program with National Geographic where they would take young kids and other people around the Bahamas, and they had world trips where they would take people around the world to take pictures of humpback whales and dolphins and all.
Okay.
So they had a program called Island Expedition. So I actually stayed on with the program in the Bahamas for the 9 months before I get back.
So you
And
was having a good time.
Yeah,
you would
I
say
was
at that
definitely
time.
having a good time. So we went to different. There's a place between Puerto Rico and the Bahamas called the Silver Banks.
Okay.
Where humpback whale comes to reproduce, and it was one of my greatest experience that I've had. So I was featured in magazines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was featured in magazines diving with humpback whales.
This man is a superstar. Yeah, man, that's a celebrity here.
And that is all before the real spiral
Yeah.
of my life. Yeah, I'm just telling this story because it's all part of my journey towards complete spiral, out of control.
So I mean, you had the opportunity. You was making money.
Yeah,
You're traveling. You're doing things that the average person
not doing.
Yeah. I mean, you have your experience on a whole, which is very unique, by the way. Being homeless and not turning a vagrant, still being able to have your mind on, notwithstanding the fact that you left home at a certain age. So your schooling, did you get that in the midst of being out in the world, out there in your teenage age into your early adult age? But
I think one of the things that actually helped me, and even now I'm actually reaping some of the benefit of it.
Right.
As a young boy, I love to read.
right,
they actually used to call me the reading man.
Okay.
Because you would always see me with a novel.
Right.
And I actually learned to read on my own.
Okay.
The fact that I always had a book, and I remember as a young boy, I always had a book with a dictionary.
Okay.
So if I see a word that I don't know the meaning, if I see a word and I don't know the meaning, I would go to the dictionary and try to figure out what that word means
All right.
and how to use it, how can it be used in sentence, in context, and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that I'm very self-motivated when it comes to learning,
Right.
from a very, very young age. So I
okay.
think that definitely helped me. And it's funny that I'm saying this because I actually dropped out of school at a very young age.
Right.
I dropped out of school at 14. Things that a lot of ways that the Lord has blessed me now with some of the knowledge
Yeah,
that the Lord has blessed me and I've acquired because I'm so self-motivated to learn new things,
Yeah.
to learn new experiences, and and sometimes I just say I'm a sponge.
Okay. Sucking up everything.
Yeah, I love to learn. I love to learn new things. I love new
It's
challenges.
it's a good thing to do.
So going back to the situation of the United States, eventually I lived on the street for a while. I actually lived on Miami. I actually lived on Miami Beach, South Beach. I lived on South Beach. And that's one of the biggest tourism spots in Miami.
Yeah.
All right. So I lived so eventually I met this guy named Ramsey from Trinidad.
Okay.
He and I became friends, and then he invited me to stay with him because most of the time Ramsey did not actually live there because he was working on highways. He was driving those heavy machines,
Right.
working on highways. So I would stay at his apartment. Lo and behold, I started to sell drugs.
So how you end up doing that? Because I mean,
Again-
you don't nobody in a place. You meet one person, you could have chosen to do any other thing, but you end up in that position. So how did you know?
I think a lot of it for me was survival. It was a way of survival, a way of and then I wanted things.
Right.
I'm chasing after things. I'm homeless. And let me say this because this is important. I'm homeless here because you made a point. How did I not lose my mind?
Yeah.
Alcohol and smoking was never my thing.
Right.
So I think that's one of the things that helped me in the sense that even though I was homeless 3 times, I was always in the right frame of mind.
So that also tells me you were selling the drugs, but you're not
Never.
taking the drugs.
Never. Never even have the thought. Never even think about trying it. Never had.
But why you think that was that way?
It was because of my father's situation. Because when I knew my father at the age of 13, he was such a chronic alcoholic. So I made a decision that I would never, ever.
So that was like a conviction.
Yeah.
Based on our experience.
Based on what I've seen. Never go down that road of taking drugs or alcohol.
All right. So now you're in the US. You meet some bad people, I presume, so to speak.
Yeah.
And did they convince you to sell the drugs, or
No,
is that
no.
case where
Actually,
you just say to yourself,
selling the drugs was part of survival.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a job in Miami. So I had to resort to find ways to make money.
what I'm trying to figure out is like how you end up getting to meet the person who's selling the drugs.
Right. No, I'm on Miami Beach. On Miami Beach because it's such a tourism spot. There are a lot of people selling actually drugs on Miami Beach to tourists.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So because I always hang around 21st Street, I made a decision that 21st Street gonna be mine, and I am gonna be the one that sells all the drugs on 21st Street.
So did you run into any problem with the law and that?
Yes, definitely.
So what happened? I never heard about that part.
Yeah.
So I'm digging you
I
tonight.
never got arrested
Right.
for selling drugs, but the FBI actually started to investigate me, because I left Miami because a FBI agent walked up to me one day. My name was Zach. No, they didn't. No one knew my real name.
What's that?
My alias was Zach. And he said to me, he says, Alister Stanislaus.
Yeah. So you call him by your name?
Yeah.
Wow.
He called me by my name, and I was so shocked.
Yeah.
He says, Alister Stanislaus, we coming for you.
Wow.
And sometimes I look back at these things and I say, sometimes when you don't even know God, God is actually looking out for you. Because normally the FBI don't do that.
Yeah. So the man just tell you straight up, that is the situation.
Yeah, we coming for you. And because he knew my name. Remember, I did not get to the US underneath my name.
Yeah.
So for someone to know my name, they had to find other persons who knew me to actually know my real name.
So where went that fella?
So eventually I left Miami and I went to Columbus, Georgia.
What? Hold on. Like Georgia?
Yeah, Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia from
But
Miami?
Atlanta is the capital of Georgia.
Yes.
Right. So I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and
So you took a plane?
No, I took the Greyhound.
Okay, you took a bus.
And
okay.
that is where my my bank robbery how should I say that? My bank robbery intention began.
Okay. But that was not for the US. Or you wanted to do it in the US?
I actually wanted to do it in the US. There was a plan to do it in the US. So when I got to Atlanta, Georgia, there was this guy that I met in Miami, and he said to me, I know a bank that we can rob in Georgia. So I gave him money to get the guns in Georgia. And when I get to Georgia, the guns that the gentleman got were so small. I tell him that's not going to happen. I'm not going to rob a bank
with that little gun.
With that little gun. So we cased the bank for a while, but eventually this guy was gambling so much. Eventually a Sunday morning, I can recall a Sunday morning, bright and early, come out in a gamble house. And when we pull out of a corner, he almost hit a patrol car. So we had a high-speed chase.
Wow.
Now, he pulled over. And when he pulled over, the officer immediately pulled his gun because I didn't know at the time that he wanted for attempted murder on a police officer.
Whoa.
So when the officer pulled his gun, he took off.
Okay.
And he drove, run red light. And I'm telling you, when that gentleman stopped that car, I cartwheel out of that car.
You jump out?
I jumped out of the car before it even stopped, and I cartwheel.
Yeah.
And I ran. I run. And
don't even know where you're going.
I don't know where I'm going, but I escaped. And eventually he got caught. But survival mode again.
So you there, nobody know who you are.
Nobody know who I am. I don't know anyone. My all my belongings.
Wow.
Actually, to be honest, I went down in a canal, and when I come out of the canal, I come out in a completely different neighborhood on a golf course. It looked like a complete different country.
Wow.
And I had no one.
I was like in the night or something?
No, in the day.
Yeah?
I was in the day.
So you go down like
I go down in a river, and in the river there was like a big circle, like a culvert kind of thing. So I decided to walk in because you could stand in the culvert and walk.
Okay.
And I decided to walk in the culvert, but eventually I comes out of the culvert, lead up to some steps.
Yeah.
And I come out of it. And when I come out, I end up in a golf course in a completely different area. And I had no one, I had no belongings, nothing. So I end up turning myself into a homeless shelter.
So wait, dude, I want to know now. Well, hold on. So how long you stayed there?
In Georgia?
Yeah.
So I got arrested in Georgia.
And what for?
Firearm possession.
So you had the same gun from the...
No. Eventually I broke into someone's house. I got a firearm and I decided to go and rob a grocery store. And I mean, I'm laughing about these things now, but this is serious things. It's serious situation. I mean, it's my life story I given, and it's serious because I want people to see how God can take someone. If God can take someone who has been so messed up and turn their life around,
What's that
to the
says?
point where you're so passionate about seeing other people come to Christ,
Right.
live out the purpose and the calling in Christ. And so I got arrested. I tried robbing a grocery store, and not armed robbery.
Right.
If I could get money, but eventually the alarm go off, and the police come and meet me in the grocery store, and they know I had the Bahamian passport and the gun.
Right.
So eventually I got charged for firearm possession and robbery,
Okay.
right? But I spent 46 days in lockup, and one day my name was called and said that you're free to go.
So you didn't go in the jail.
Yeah. I was in the jail. I wasn't in prison. I was in jail, because in the US there is a
So
difference
there's
between
like,
prison. When you get sentenced to more than a year, you go to prison. If you get sentenced to less than a year, you serve your time in jail.
Okay.
So I was waiting trial,
Right.
and I was seen by immigration. ICE agents.
Right.
They
So
took
that
the
means they
ICE
passed it.
agent took the passport, and they said that when I get convicted after I serve my time, they're gonna deport me back to the Bahamas.
Oh.
Now, all this time, God is actually working in my life.
And they don't realize
Because-
is
and
is
I
that
don't
Grenadian?
know-
Is
I
that
don't know
wait?
God.
So hold on. The passport are Grenadian, and the passport have two on it, or just was one name and passport?
One name. The
So-
name was Anwar Lightburn.
What?
I remember these things.
What's the name?
Anwar Lightburn.
Bro.
And this thing is years ago, you know.
Yeah.
And
So who go for that name? You?
no. I bought the passport with the name already, so I had to use the name.
Okay.
But I had to get familiarized with the name, because that's the name I'm using. So I can be in a situation where I'm fumbling with the name. What's your name? Anwar Lightburn.
Okay.
Because I'm using that as my ID,
Right.
right? So eventually they took the passport. But when I was released, they said to me, they gave me the contact information for ICE
Okay.
office.
Okay.
But I got released. I never bothered with that. I'm sharing this because I thank God, because if I had gotten deported to the Bahamas,
You'd have gone
that would
jail.
have been another set of problems.
Oh, you might end up in a
I would have ended up in prison
Yeah.
in the Bahamas, because they would have figured out that I'm not a Bahamian
Bahamian
citizen.
yeah.
So I would have ended up in the Bahamas. So eventually I got out, and I started working. I turned in myself to a homeless shelter, and then I started working with this company that going around the United States selling cleaning products. But eventually that got boring for me. I decided to steal a car to get back to Miami. And that in itself is another test. That in itself is a testimony.
So you got a car?
Yeah.
So wait
actually,
now, for all things you're saying, where you didn't learn to drive in Grenada, did you? Like you went and learned to drive?
no, I got my license in the Bahamas.
You pay for it, or you?
No.
You
I
actually
drove.
drove?
I drove.
Okay.
I drove because at part of my time in the Bahamas, I was legal. I had
Okay.
a work permit.
Okay.
I had a work permit, so I could have utilized any service in the Bahamas.
Okay,
I was
okay.
legal part of the time, working. So eventually I decided, you know what, this get boring. When I reached in Texas, I decided this is boring. I'm gonna go back to Miami. So I went by a gas station and stayed whole night waiting for someone to come and leave their
Leave the
keys in the
key
car.
in the car.
But Americans don't leave their key in the car
Okay.
for whatever reason. So about 3 o'clock in the morning, I decided to go back to the motel. While I'm walking to the motel, there was a car park in the motel parking lot, and I put my hand and I opened the door. Lo and behold, there was a key sitting in the ignition. Yeah. So I took the car, I parked it in the back of in the motel. I run back, I go to the motel, I gather my things, and I took off for Miami.
Okay. Had enough gas?
No, I didn't have enough gas. I didn't even have enough money,
That's all 1 day.
because I stopped by gas station and begged for money to buy gas. But eventually I got held up for gas on the freeway.
And
And
there's a long drive we talking about.
so,
People.
yeah, from Dallas to Miami,
Miami
it took me 28 hours.
Yes, it's a long drive. Because from Georgia
From Texas.
Well, from Georgia, or just from Georgia to Miami, is actually 7 hours.
Okay.
Right?
That's right there.
And
That's
that's
right there.
So you can
Yeah.
imagine you're coming from
Texas. Yeah,
now.
that's across couple of states.
Yeah, so you get a
Yeah.
picture.
While driving, eventually I run out of gas on the highway,
Right.
and I'm sitting in the car and I'm seeing a patrol car pulling up behind me. I jumped out of the car and I stand on to block the plate because I know if they run the plate,
Yeah.
that's going through my head at the time. I'm processing it. If they run the plate, I'm gonna get arrested.
Again.
So the officer pull up next to me and he asked me, he says, "Son, what's the problem?" And I make up a story. I said,
So hold on. So them time there, how you speaking? Are you speaking Yankee, speaking American, or you just
"No, I'm speaking Grenadian.
Grenadian.
I mean, I'm speaking Grenadian, but I could put a little Yankee in it
yeah.
to make it more."
More authentic.
I explain. I give him a story. I tell him I'm in university, and I'm driving back to Miami. I'm driving to Miami to meet some friends.
Yeah.
He actually took me to the gas station, buy me gas, and took me back to the stolen car, and see me on my way, And I'm laughing at these things, but boy, it's. I mean, the Bible says that when you go through the fire,
Yeah.
God would be there.
He will be there.
In the water, He would be there. No matter what you go through, God would be there. And even though sometimes when we don't know Him, we have no idea if He exists, but He's there, and He's still looking out for us.
So in that time, because you said you grew up in a Christian home, but you didn't like absolutely no time at all you ever stop to pray or say, God, if you out here, just help me in this situation. Maybe I acknowledge I'm not the best of person. You had nothing.
Never. I had no regards. There was no situation. I mean, there were times I've been to church in the Bahamas, because I remember when I was in the Bahamas, I actually went to what's that man that died?
Miles Monroe.
Miles Monroe Church.
Dr. Miles Monroe.
Dr. Miles Monroe Church in the Bahamas. And I think I went there again, not because of God,
Right.
because of ladies.
Right.
There was a large contingencies of young women in that church. So I think one of the reasons why I went there is because of that. So it was never, I had never no inclinations of anything to do with God.
Yeah.
And even as my life progressed, it became worse.
Okay.
I actually there was a part of my life I want to hear nothing about God. I want nothing to do with God. And it wasn't a situation where I was blaming God for anything. I think it was because I was so dark.
Right.
Because my life was in such darkness, because I was so possessed by evil and demonic spirits, that there was no part of me that wanted anything to do with God.
Within that time, I mean, the average person in a lifetime, somebody would have a conversation or try to witness to them or tell them something about God. Within that time, do you have any recollection of anybody just, you understand, trying to encourage you and say, hey, young man, God love you, or he didn't experience that
My mother.
So that is since then.
Because even while I'm going through some of these things, now and again I would call my mom.
Oh, so you're still in contact?
I definitely stayed in contact with my mom. And she would tell me things, you need to slow down, because one of the big things, I actually tried to join the U.S. Army, illegal in America, But
illegal.
I was illegal. But at some point,
Army.
I tried to join the U.S. Army, and my mother discouraged me. She discouraged me because she says that's not a good thing to do. She just felt like somewhere along the line she's gonna lose me.
Okay.
But what I was doing, she probably would have lost me anyway.
Anyways.
But she discouraged me from that, so I didn't bother with that. But actually that was something I would have loved to do.
Yeah.
Join the military in the United States. But eventually I got back to Miami. I don't want to give the whole story about the car situation because it's a funny one. Because when I got back to Miami, someone steal the car from the one that steal the car. And he ended up in prison back in Texas for the car.
For the same car?
For the same car.
Boy, God was on his side. Your mother
Yeah.
was praying for you or something. Or maybe your grandfather.
My grandfather.
I feel your grandfather was praying for you all the
My grandfather
time.
definitely prayed. And about a year later, I see the, because the gentleman was taking me to a chop shop to sell the car.
Okay.
But when I went in to negotiate the price for the car, he drove off.
Oh,
So I didn't bother. I know it's a stolen car. About a year and something later, I saw him and he gave me the story that he got arrested.
They still actually made the man after that period.
Because South Beach is not a big place, you know. So once you're on South Beach, you're probably gonna run into people on South Beach. So eventually I saw the guy and he gave me the story. Now my time on South Beach was one with up and down, because that was the first time I actually got shot.
Okay.
And again, I got shot again because of another female coming out of a nightclub, this time with two women.
Okay.
And when I'm coming out of the nightclub, one of them boyfriend is outside again. And a fight ensued, but the Bahamas and America are two different places.
Right.
So the gentleman pulled out a gun, and I started to run. And a bullet took me on my bottom.
Yeah.
Wow. So I got shot, but in the process of when he realized I got shot, he took off running.
Oh, so you get afraid?
Yeah, he got afraid. So when I realized that, so I started to follow him.
So you told back around?
Yeah, I started to follow him, but because I'm following him and I'm on the phone with 911 because I'm bleeding.
Yeah.
Eventually, I collapsed. Because I lost so much blood. So eventually I collapsed, but they found me and they took me to the emergency, removed the bullet, thank God. I have no permanent damages, but that was the first time I actually got shot.
So then you're continuing in America for a while, for how long at that time then?
Maybe about a few months, and eventually survival again, because when I got back to Miami, I didn't get back into selling drugs. Actually, by the time I get back to Miami, I want nothing to do with drugs.
Okay.
Because of my experience with the FBI agent, I want nothing to do with drugs. So I started to rob people on Miami Beach.
Okay. With a knife?
No, I would grab people purse.
And just run?
And run. Because a lot of times they're intoxicated.
Oh.
And so I would grab people purse, I would push my hand in my pocket, take their wallet and just run.
Target the vulnerable?
Yeah, and so eventually I got arrested. And but by that time I got back a Grenadian passport.
So how you get that?
Right. So I had my family send the form up. I had the form full out and stuff like that, and I sent it back to Grenada.
Okay.
And so the passport was sent up to me.
Okay.
Post up to me.
Okay.
So by that time I had a Grenadian passport. Lo and behold, when I got arrested, for some reason, when I got arrested on South Beach, initially when I got arrested, the officer put a handcuff on me. And by that time they got the passport, they knew who I was. I took off running.
With the handcuff?
Yeah, with the handcuff, and I jumped into the sea.
With the handcuff?
With the handcuff. With the handcuff, I jumped into the sea, and I swim. Well, not swim, I paddle. Helicopter in the air, dogs on the beach. Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah.
Man, you blew my mind, man.
So I paddled and I went way down the beach, but eventually I got so tired, so I came out and I hid underneath some beach chairs, but with the dogs.
Dog sniff you out.
The dog eventually sniffing me out. So I end up going to jail in Miami, and eventually I got deported.
How long you
because I plead guilty.
How long you stayed there?
I stayed in the jail maybe about 3 months. I think I stayed in there. I was sentenced to 4 months in prison. I think I stayed about 3 months, and then eventually went into a detention center to be deported. Because they asked me if I want to fight deportation. I'm illegal. I'm not going to try to fight deportation. I want to go home.
Right.
So eventually I got deported back to Grenada. So it took me 11 months to get deported because the officer never turned in the passport.
Oh.
The officer never turned in the passport. So eventually they had to contact Grenada and get travel documents.
Okay.
So that took a while.
So at that time you was still in the detention center?
All the time I was in the detention center.
But you wasn't fighting with nobody and thing with her in there?
Who's that?
He wasn't fighting with nobody in the. He wasn't getting
Physically? Yeah, man. I mean, you can be in a detention center and don't get into physical fight. There's thousands and thousands of people. The thing about it, one of the things that helped me throughout my life, I think, at a young age, I used to box.
Okay.
And I think that has helped me in the sense of being able to defend myself.
Right.
Because I might look small to a lot of people, but when it comes to physically putting up my hand to fight,
Right.
I think I've learned to fight physically in those ways. And some of it was street fighting because
Okay.
I actually wanted to be a street fighter at one point. But eventually I got the travel document, and then I remember two ICE agent escorted me back to Grenada
Okay.
and turned me over to the police in Grenada.
So when you come to Grenada, did they at that point now, like, were you just like, okay, they put you back out, or you had to go back to prison? Or?
No. Actually, when I came to Grenada, the officers just take a brief statement, and they actually dropped me home in Montparnasse
Yeah.
at my grandfather's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you didn't come into crime in this
I didn't
land.
come out I didn't go, well, I wasn't convicted of no crime in this land yet.
All right. So now we're back in Grenada. So that's extensive. So now wow. So if you were to sum up that couple of years of your life being out there, that would have been like about how many years?
Close to about 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
So now you're back in Grenada. Your age what?
When I came back to Grenada, I was somewhere about 20, about 30, close to about 30.
30.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 30.
So now you're in Grenada and you're back home with family. What's going on in your mind?
Well, survival. I work couple places. But eventually, for me, it didn't seem like it's enough. So I went back to what I believe I knew best: crime.
Okay.
Yeah, I went back to crime. So I started breaking into places. Then eventually I started doing robberies.
To people or
No,
just buildings, business places?
Business places. I started doing robberies, and then eventually
So I think
I started a business.
So hold on. Before you go there, I think when I ask you what's going on in your mind. So you wanted things, but you have a job, but the things that you desire, what was that? You know what it was? You just wanted peace, you just wanted harmony,
High life,
you wanted
money.
zest.
I wanted to still wanted to run women. Because at that time all women I see I want.
Right.
I wanted cars. I wanted jewelry. I wanted that nice life, fast life kind of thing. I just wanted to be.
So it's like an image you wanted to portray.
Yes, that's
but
it.
Do you know, like, many men sometimes they after that image, but like what caused that image? Young boys these days, sometimes you check them out, they see an image. Back then we didn't have YouTube. TV was the least of your problem because you ain't living in a place to say you get consumed by TV. Was it because
I don't watch TV?
Right. So I just trying to like patch it together, so you could, if you could figure out like what caused you to want that image, if you understand.
I think part of it was some of it was greed, impatience,
Right.
and then there's another part that most people don't speak about when they speak about a testimony.
Right.
What my calling is, and some of the things I was doing was because of some of the demonic possession that I had.
Okay.
To kill my calling,
Right.
and to also prevent me from reaching that place where I can walk in what God has called me on this earth to do.
Right. Right.
So I would find myself, because when I look back at some of those things now, some of the things that I was doing is direct contradiction to what my calling is.
Right.
Or direct contradiction to what my gifting is.
Right. So you could see now on the positive how the negative was taking hold of that
Exactly.
and using it
to prevent me
from
getting to that place
right
to where my gifting is,
yeah,
and where my call, because my gift supposed to take me to my calling.
right, and it makes
And
room
if
for you.
and what is
Yeah.
happening is that I am totally going contrary to what my gifting is.
Right. That tells us what? When you think about it, many persons listening, maybe they're not paying attention to that one very same thing.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have a gift just to be able to encourage people to do what is right. But you may find yourself being the one. It's like you still have the gift because God give us a gift and He don't take it. The gift is without repentance. So some people may use that gift now to encourage people to do wrong.
Yeah.
You understand? But it's still a gift. But it's just that it's not being utilized the right way.
Right way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Continue.
Because when I now that I look back at a lot of the things that was happening, that I was doing, I was doing let me just say this: as much as I'm saying that I was demonically possessed, I still have to take responsibility because I was doing it.
Right.
Right. And now I'm robbing people, but eventually I got married.
Okay. So in that situation, well, I mean, hold on. Don't jump too quick to the how quick you get married, because I don't feel that was automatic. That woman just see you and you just, say, all right, well, that one is special. I want to marry to her. What was it like though?
I think there was a part of me that I was fighting a battle because I wanted to stop.
Okay.
I actually wanted to stop doing a lot of these things for years,
But what does that feel like? Is it like a tug of war that some part of you is speaking and saying to you that boy, this thing you're doing there is wrong, but yet still, were you being praised by other people, like other men, or were you alone and just committing a crime nobody knows who it is that is? You had a crew, you had friends.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a very good question, because in the early part of my criminal life, I operated totally alone.
Right.
I actually wore a ghost to the police for years. Years. I was a ghost to the police until one day I stole a phone that was TDME.
Oh.
And that's how the police got to know my identity.
Okay.
And not even, I gave that phone to a young lady.
Oh.
So because I gave the phone to the young lady, the police ended up calling the phone. They got the phone from her, so she directed them to me.
You.
So that's how the police actually got to know my identity. But I was a ghost to the police for years.
Okay.
So I walked alone, right? But eventually, I got one crime partner who I actually trained. Because I trust very, very little.
Right.
Little. I mean, I trust no one. Right. So because I knew I trained this individual, I'm not gonna call his name.
Right.
Because he's still out there. He's not in that place yet.
Yeah.
I pray in God every day that he gets to that place. You're not robbing people. Let me just say this.
Right.
I mean, he has made a lot of changes in his life. His life has turned around, but I would love to see him serve God.
Completely. Yeah.
Completely surrender to God. And I trained him. So we started to operate together.
Right.
And then the crime become even bigger. Because some of the crimes that I would have stayed away from when it was me alone. Now I have someone that I have someone that has almost the same amount of guts as we just say on the street, or belly. So the crime becomes more great.
So you knew his story? Was it anyway similar to yours?
No, he
was a good boy that
actually he was actually a good boy. Actually, I actually brought him into this man actually never committed a crime before.
Okay.
I think I actually brought him into the criminal world.
Okay.
Because he's much younger than me. Most people actually think that's my son.
Okay.
So I brought him actually in the criminal world, and that is why for me it's such a struggle to not to be able to take him out of the world.
Yeah, I get you.
Because the fact that I actually brought him into criminal activity.
Right.
But yeah, so the crime got bigger because eventually, no, I want to go back to the married part. So
okay, yeah.
at some part of me felt like I needed to get married.
Mm-hmm.
And I was dating a Christian girl.
Right.
You know, all what's going on in my life, I'm dating a Christian girl. For some reason, she didn't want to get married.
Mm.
So while dating her, I end up meeting my present wife now.
Right.
While dating her. And when we date for a while, I start speaking marriage, and I realized she wants to get married. But I'm still dating the Christian girl and dating her at the same time. So eventually the Christian girl get to find out that I'm seeing somebody else.
Right.
So eventually she just, I started to back away from her also.
Mm-hmm.
So she popped up at the house one day while my present wife now is at the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I left my girlfriend, because both of them is my girlfriend.
Right.
I left her at the house and I go and spend the whole night with the Christian girl.
Right.
And came back the next morning.
Okay.
And the house was turned up
When you come back.
when I come back.
Mm.
Because at that time in my life, I had that don't care attitude.
Right.
I mean, whatever it is, it is. But eventually I broke it off with the Christian girl.
Okay.
And my present wife and I became, and then Ivan came.
So 2004.
2004. Ivan came, and because of the whole situation, all house breakdown, my current wife and I started to live together.
Craziness, right?
We started to live together, and so eventually we built a house together.
Okay. A wall house, a boat
boat
house.
Okay. We built the government give concession after Ivan to bring in material from Trinidad.
Okay.
So, and both of us at that time work in digital.
Okay.
So, and digital sales,
okay,
right?
Okay.
And actually, digital handle the workers really. That's one of the things I say about digital. You see, after Ivan,
back then,
digital handle the workers. I remember they pay us triple.
Yeah.
Right, triple for the month.
Sounds good.
So we were able to buy materials from Trinidad, concessionary price, and built a boathouse. And then in 2005, we got married.
Okay. So 1 year later,
we got married.
And life continued to life. So what are you doing now? You're married? Are you a responsible man yet? Or you're working and taking care? Yeah, what are you doing?
So I'm still working digital. No, sorry. The day I got married, I retired from digital. I went to honeymoon in St. Lucia. When I come back, I resigned.
Okay.
I decided I'm gonna start a chicken hatchery.
Okay.
But that time I had some money because I'm robbing. Now my wife don't know all these things going on. Right. I'm robbing people, so I started a hatchery, and doing well. But for some reason, as much as I'm saying to myself, Alister, you need to stop this. What you're doing, you need to stop.
So I'm going to stop. That time.
Yeah, by that time I'm in my 30s. I'm like 32, somewhere about 30, somewhere in my 30s.
Right.
Yes. And I was saying to myself, Alister, you need to stop. But for some reason, I couldn't.
So you end up in the church to get married. And that time, you had a Christian girl. Did the girl prior to your wife, she ever tried to encourage you about God or anything like that? And if she did, what was your response?
I didn't want to hear nothing about it.
So if she bring that up, you just slight it?
Yeah, I don't want to hear about that. Don't tell me nothing about God.
Okay.
But in the sense, I'm doing it in the sense, not in a arrogant way.
Okay.
Because I'm still trying to pretend to be someone else. Because remember, this is a Christian girl.
Right.
So I'm still pretending to be someone else that I'm not. Right? But don't invite me to church because I would not go.
Right.
But I'm still trying to play that guy who is nice and those kind of things. But in reality, I was a womanizer. And it's unfortunate. But I think if maybe she wanted to get married, we probably would have got, because I actually wanted to get married. I said to myself, I need to get married. I need to have kids. I need to settle down. I thought maybe that would help me stop
doing what
I was doing.
Right.
even with the business, I continue to do what I do. And first,
So they
I
had
could not stop
so they had trios like you're doing eggs and meat,
chickens. No, I wasn't doing
or you
meat.
just
I was
selling hatching
hatching chickens and
chicken.
selling baby chickens.
How were you on that?
Again, a lot of it was
The
self-taught.
self-thought,
But
right?
then but after I got married, I went to Barbados.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Barbados and actually volunteer
Mm-hmm.
in was it Chickmont
Right.
for 6 months, so that I was able to actually
So
know
you
how to
learn all of
hatch
that.
chickens,
Okay.
right? And the gentleman
You know, I don't know how
take
to
me
do
in.
that, you know.
Yeah.
I never thought about that, you know.
Yeah, the gentleman took me in, but I spent a lot of time on the internet reading and studying,
Okay.
reading as much as I can to
Right.
be able to fill myself with information,
Information, so
with
you could know what
knowledge,
you gotta
so
do.
that when eventually when I buy those equipments, that I knew how to run it. And one of the things I think with the hatchery, because we bought used equipment,
Right.
and I have an engineering mind. When I say that, I can see something and literally make a replica of it.
Of it, okay.
So when the machine come, everybody thought it was garbage,
Oh.
because I hear people make comment, why would you bring something like that into Grenada? But for some reason, I had a passion at that time. I had a passion
Right.
for that, and because of the knowledge that I've learned over the short period of time, I was able to convert the machines from manual to semi-automated,
Okay.
because I put motors, I put timers on it, and all these sort of things, so it was able to hatch chicken efficiently and effectively.
This man ain't going to school to learn that.
No.
Right. So now you're married. Walk me through like the first 5 years in your marriage relationship now.
Right. I don't even know if I call it a marriage,
Yeah.
because I was married on paper, but in reality, I was living like a single man.
Right.
Um,
So
my,
what?
my
So that means like, what I mean then?
okay, so I mean, I had so much girlfriends that I can visit one on Monday, visit one on Tuesday, a different one on Tuesday, a different one on Wednesday, a different one on Thursday.
Right.
I could Thursday morning, I could visit one on Thursday night, I could visit a different one. So, and that's why I said I live like a single man. It's like I'm married, my wife is at home, but I'm just all about the place with different women. Not even worrying about if I'm seen, or if I'm seen with a different woman, or if I'm seen with a woman or something like that.
Okay.
And I mean, some of those women would disrespect my wife. They would true talk for her. They would call the phone. They would, different thing that women does. I guess when you put yourself in that position, and then when I come home, I still want everything
As a married man.
as a married. I still want to enjoy what a married man's supposed to enjoy, and my food supposed to be prepared, my clothes supposed to wash, the house had to be clean. Mind you, I know most about the business, but I out all the time, and the wife have to be home to
handle it.
handle the business. And I mean, sometimes when I look back at those time of my life compared to now, I'm not perfect,
Right.
but coming to understand what a marriage is, and the commitment that you need to give, and the sacrifice that you need to make in your marriage, and that your family come first and foremost. I don't know, I think even now in my Christian life, I still don't, because there's so much still depending on me, in the sense of, the Bible says, much is given, much is required.
Yeah. To whom much is given,
To whom,
much is required.
right. When it comes to obligation in the church, I still gives a lot. So time and time again, when the complaint comes, then I still have to put it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And make sure my family is
taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I think this is
so
something that I
where
still struggle
you
with.
know what I seen where you're saying there is like man and man, that sometimes our past tend to still follow us in a way that we don't realize. I was sharing with some folks the other day and even looking at my own self and the whole idea of drifting.
Yeah.
And people may thinking you can drift as a Christian only in negative things, but you can drift away in things that seems good.
Positive, yeah.
It is good in reality, but it's how you manage your time. So before you catch yourself now, you're so gone away from what is important to you that you feel disconnected. You understand? And when you drift from your family, ideally, if you're drifting from God, because you see, as a man, if you can't pay attention to what happening to your family, then it's a problem where God is concerned too.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that is so important, and we have to learn to say no sometimes. People might not like it, but at times you must know what's happening. You have to be aware, self-aware, and you must know what is happening. I just thought I should drop that in
And
there.
I think it's also important to know your wife or your husband.
Absolutely important.
Because I
Very
think
necessary.
my wife is a very outspoken person. She speaks her mind.
Right.
So if it becomes a point where she realizes that she's been neglected for a while,
She would say.
she will say it.
Yeah.
So then automatically I knows that I have to do something different.
Right. True.
So it's not a situation where it creates confusion in the house.
Right. Right.
Because if
Well,
my
the
wife is
immature
unhappy, then I'm unhappy.
The immature you would have
Right.
actually done, because I sure if you go back a bit,
Oh man.
and she telling you that having this don't care mentality,
Yeah.
actually not being born again truly, and having this revelation of truth, it will cause you to, bro. But we talking real.
Yeah.
That was me too.
Yeah.
You understand? But though you don't want us to go away in the marriage talk yet, we have to go back to where we were and like come up.
Okay.
You come up.
Yeah. So eventually.
So remember, you give me that first 5 years. So
Yeah.
you're wilding out still. You're married. You're
Real wilding out. I mean, I'm coming up to the big things now.
Right.
So
So let's go.
I'm stepping up because eventually it's like the robbery
Can't stop.
couldn't stop.
Right.
And so I'm moving to a higher level now. I met this Russian guy. Online in the underworld, on the deep dark web, and he started to teach me some things about the scheming. Because this is not something that I just wake up one morning and just
come up
do.
with.
Actually, the gentleman started to teach me, because I say, well, what I explained to him, what can you teach me? And then he started teaching me about the scheming situation. And then he sent some equipments for me, but the equipments that he sent couldn't work in Grenada.
Okay.
Because I guess in Russia the systems that they have is completely different here.
Okay.
So I remember I said
You
I
could
have an
replicate it?
engineer in mind.
Yeah.
So eventually what I did, I bought some stuff from China,
Right.
and I built something. I built something to put, like you put over the door of the ATM.
Right.
I mean, I'm being honest here. This is my pass.
Yeah.
I'm being open, and I realized out of that I move away from the robbery thing,
Right.
because I realized this is big boy, this is big people,
Right.
upscale kind of thing. So I actually started to do that, and I think this is where it really gotten bad, because the robbery is one thing that I'm getting away with the robbery because
It's unique. Nobody is doing it.
no
It's
one is
new.
doing it at that scale.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the robbery. No one is doing it at that scale.
Yeah.
How I was doing it, but the robberies and them was already done.
Oh.
So I've started moving away from the robbery, and I started moving into the bank fraud
Okay.
and the scheming.
Right. So all these robberies, the police didn't know who it is up to this point.
The police had an idea.
But they ain't sure.
They ain't sure. But when the bank fraud and the scheming and stuff started to happen, I think what happened is that now I started because I could not have done that alone.
Right.
And the gentleman who were trained,
Right.
he and I alone couldn't do it.
Okay.
So I started to put a group together.
Right.
And somewhere along the line, one of those persons in the group
Mm-hmm.
that I know of for sure got compromised.
Oh, okay.
Because that person ended up getting into problems with the law.
Oh.
And sometimes a man feel that he can't do the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
So you say you will give up somebody for that?
he gave up somebody, and at the time I guess I was a big fish.
Yeah.
So information was given out concerning the robberies.
Mm-hmm.
Now remember I said I had to put a crew together.
Yeah.
That was before the bank fraud and stuff started to happen. We started to put a crew together. Because at one point I actually had a plan to rob Central Police Station.
The police station.
Lord Jesus, help me.
I mean, you went to bed, you slept, you have a dream. I mean, how did that come about?
I think it came about because I felt at one point in my life, I felt like although I was doing what I was doing, I felt like the police was taking advantage of me.
Okay.
In the sense of anytime a robbery happened, they would come and lock me up for 48 hours.
Oh, so you felt okay.
So
you felt targeted.
I felt so targeted to the point where I said, you know what, I'm gonna embarrass them.
Could it be that they wanting to see if the robbery were happening while you were still like locked away, so they would know whether or not it's you, or if they suspect you, because they didn't have no evidence that it was you, they suspected that it is you. So maybe they were trying to pull a fast one because legally they know the law states you could hold somebody for that time.
But the robberies were me. The problem is that I still felt like because I knew at the time they didn't have no evidence. I felt like they was giving me 48 hours just for
the time,
because the law states you could hold me for 48 hours. Because if you
won't keep none of your the items that you will get, or the funds or whatever it is in the place where you stay.
No.
Okay, smarter than that.
No. So I felt, because I felt I was so targeted, I said to myself, mind you, as much as I'm saying this, I'm saying that I wanted to embarrass them.
Yeah.
Listen, when you're demonically possessed,
it's a different kind of story.
When you're demonically possessed, you will come up with some ideas that would get you killed in an instant.
Yeah.
Because again, the robbery actually of Central Police Station was actually in motion.
Yeah.
The car, the vehicle.
So what you wanna take from them? The guns,
I would have taken the guns, all the guns and the bullets. That's all I wanted. The guns and the bullets.
Okay.
Not to take to embarrass them. Just to embarrass them. Just to embarrass them. And the robbery actually was in motion. Because I remember I went to Granance about 6 o'clock the evening. I got the car, the vehicle.
Was a robbed car too? You robbed the car?
I robbed it. I stole the car.
Oh, you stole it. Okay, you robbed it.
Again, my creative mind, I knew how to make master keys for cars.
Okay.
Right. So I got the car and I drove back to Montparnasse. Nothing was wrong with the vehicle. I parked the vehicle on the top of Montparnasse, and I had two other guys staying at a hotel close to the police station.
Right.
And I went to pick up my next partner in Montparnasse and with the guns.
Right.
When we got back in the van, it was a van.
Right.
When we got back in the van, when I start the van, I just hear boof.
Yeah.
Now I spent maybe about 25 to 30 minutes gathering everything to bring back to the van. So it means if I drove from Granance to Montparnasse, that van had to cool long by that time.
Yeah.
From the moment I start the key,
gas it blow.
The whole radiator top
flew
off. And I mean, at that time, I didn't think in is God protecting me,
Yeah, yeah.
because I am not even thinking about God. But I decided to
Forget about
forget
it.
about that robbery of the of Central Police Station.
But it only goes to show how influential you were at that time, because
I convinced you, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you realize that's a gift in itself.
no, I'm gonna get to all of that. I'm gonna get to all of that, and that's why you heard me said earlier that my gifting and my calling was operating totally counteractive
Right.
to what was taking place.
Right.
Because I actually convinced 3 other men
Right. That's
to
true.
go and rob
A
Central Police Station.
Like, that's not normal.
It is absolutely not
Yeah,
normal.
that's not normal. Yeah.
Right. But eventually that was squashed.
Right.
And I drove the vehicle without no radiator from Montparnasse.
You did?
Because it was a hot vehicle, so I couldn't leave it in Montparnasse. If it stayed in Montparnasse, it's obviously
Yeah, lying to you.
the police would have probably knew.
Yeah, it's you.
It was.
So you bring it back to the place where you got
No,
it,
no, no.
or just drop
I
it in
dropped
some
it off.
place?
I dropped it off in Hopeville.
Okay.
I dropped it off in Hopeville area. I can say that now. The statute of limitation passed.
Yeah.
So I know some of the policemen
So,
who probably gonna listen to this
listen,
program would
yeah.
remember those years ago finding that vehicle in Hopeville.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just left it there.
Okay.
But eventually, it all came crashing down. I want to get to how it came crashing down.
Yeah.
Now it came crashing down because my wife now had our first son.
Okay.
And as we started to do the scheming,
Right.
the scheming thing, and eventually I remember my son was 2 weeks old, and one morning I hear a knock on the door. No, I didn't hear a knock. Yes, I heard a knock on the door, and when I opened the door, it was my right-hand man.
Right.
And he said to me, we need to go to St. Patrick's to pick up 2 guns. That, mind you, that's about 5 o'clock in the morning, eh?
Yeah.
So all I said was, okay.
Yeah.
Now, my right-hand man come and give me that information. I thinking to myself that everything is legit. He knows what's going on. So I said, okay. And I left my wife, not even tell her that I'm going.
Right.
With a 2-week-old baby. Left my wife lying there in bed, and I left.
Right.
And drove up to St. Patrick's. I remember we picked up one of the firearm, and when we go to the next man's house, we were supposed to pick up a AK-47.
Right.
And lo and behold, the gentleman was not there.
Okay.
So we were unable to pick up the AK-47.
Right.
So we left St. Patrick's and we drove back. We driving back to St. George's. And when we reached in Busheju, the police has a roadblock.
Yeah.
And
so they got some intel or something?
Police. That's where the individual now got compromised.
Oh,
the police
okay.
in the police report after we are gotten locked up, in the police report saying that they had intel that we went to firearm to pick up the guns.
Okay.
So the police already knew that we went to St. Patrick's to pick up the guns.
They actually knew. They searching every vehicle because they didn't know where you're coming back in?
No, the
roadblock
wasn't for any vehicle. The roadblock was only for us.
Okay.
Yeah. The roadblock was for us directly. So when I see the roadblock, now bushes you stretch. When you come around the corner, they all the way to the end closer to the bridge.
Yeah.
When I see that, I say, okay, if I'm going out, I'm taking them with me.
Yeah.
That was my exact words. If they're going out, I am taking them with me. I actually asked the gentleman if he wants to drop.
Yeah.
And
so
he said no. Because I said to him, if they're gonna take me out, I'm taking them with me.
Right.
And I put my feet down to that board.
Right.
Yeah. I tell you,
so you're pressing.
Yeah. The X was to the board.
Mm-hmm.
When we hit head on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the police was coming to you, or they just blocked the road?
They blocked the road.
Oh, so they blocked the road, their vehicles.
But how they blocked the road? They blocked the road, the vehicle facing towards the stretch.
Okay.
So it's not
okay.
like they block across
Across
the
the
road.
road, okay.
They're facing on the road.
Okay.
So I rammed head on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and thank God the airbag, boof.
Mm-hmm.
My right hand man got damaged. I mean, his whole shoulder area, neck,
Dislocated, yeah.
because he ended up in with neck brace. So one of the officers sitting inside of the vehicle got his whole face messed up.
Okay.
Because apparently their vehicle off. So
Yeah.
no airbag
Yeah.
to explode. So he got his face really, really messed up. I actually didn't even get a
A
scratch.
scratch.
Yeah, and so I came out of the vehicle, then a fight ensued with the police.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually it squashed, and then they searched the vehicle. They find a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could say these things and them now
No, yeah.
because there was multiple firearm in the vehicle.
When they got only
But
one,
when they got one, they were so happy.
they didn't realize
They
there were more.
realized there was more.
Wow.
And they just, because they found my personal firearm,
Mm-hmm.
but the firearm that we actually picked up, they didn't find it.
Okay.
Because, and the reason why my personal firearm was found is because on the impact,
Right.
where it is hidden, it came out. But I also believe that the police had information from somebody else
Yeah.
about
yeah.
where that
Normally
firearm
where it
was,
is,
because
so they go
that
directly.
vehicle searched a million times
Mm-hmm.
by the police, and that firearm was never found.
Okay.
So I actually believe that, because it is strange, because there was another gentleman who I believe knew where he used to wash my vehicle,
Okay,
clean my
okay,
vehicle. So I
okay.
believe he at
He knew
some
where it
point he
is.
knew where the firearm was.
Right.
And he got locked up again
Oh.
just a few days before that incident.
Okay.
Now he was not the one about the St. Patrick's
Right.
information,
Right.
but I think my personal firearm was compromised,
Right.
because he was the one that used to clean the vehicle.
Oh. So
was
you probably
compromised,
saw
but-
it.
Because I
let them know.
remember the day he got out of lockup. From immediately he came out of lockup, he came to me and asked me to wash the vehicle, and I find it was a bit I
Kinda
find it was
weird.
strange.
Yeah.
So I didn't let you wash the vehicle,
Okay.
but I ain't thinking to myself that it's gonna be that bad, because I
Yeah.
knew the vehicle searched on so many occasions. Actually, that vehicle was searched before that head on, two nights before that
Mm-hmm.
it was searched
Wow.
by the police, and the firearm was never found. I mean, every time the police come by me to
Didn't
give me
get nothing.
48, they search the vehicle, and it was never found. and what brought me to that conclusion is that the fact that one of the officers, when he came, because the vehicle was searched thoroughly by the officers on the scene,
Right.
but that particular officer is a charging officer for the gentleman,
Right.
and when he came there, he went to that exact spot.
See, it's like he knew exactly where you was going.
Yeah, but at the end of it, I mean, it was the beginning of my new life.
Yeah.
That head-on collision in Boucheju was actually, though it was meant to end my life,
Yeah.
but it actually was the beginning of my new life,
See you.
because I ended up in prison,
Right.
and I actually
But that's
believe
like the third time.
no, but that's the first time in Grenada.
In Grenada,
I mean,
but
the
the third time
America,
overall.
yeah,
Right,
third time
yeah,
overall.
Yeah.
And 11 months, I got bail after 11 months
In Grenada
in
prison.
Grenada.
Okay.
Now I was charged with about 12 armed robberies, I think, at that 12.
So how they pin on you? Did they had your fingerprint or
No,
somebody
The
had
information.
evidence or that person give?
the information that other person gave.
Extracted from
because
the
the police was
guys.
the police was so sure that it was us,
Yeah.
that they were so sure that on the scene of the accident, they said these are the two men that were responsible for all the
All
recent
these
robberies in
robberies.
Grenada,
Okay.
without no evidence yet.
Yeah.
So that was I knew there was pretty sure. But in any event, we got bail after 11 months. And after that 11 months, is like I just decided to go all out.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you
that's
decide, well, it's
not with the robberies,
mm,
because after that time I didn't commit any robbery after that.
okay.
That's where the bank fraud started.
Right.
Yeah. And I think when the bank fraud started, it was such a high level that something had to be done. The police, I think at that time, the commissioner, Commissioner Clarkson was the commissioner at the time. I think he believed that something needed to be done.
So that was
to
like
stop
what?
me.
So basically, like the bank robbery, was it like
Yeah, bank fraud.
fraud?
Yeah.
So it was like what? Because you said your device allow you to get people information.
Yeah.
So were you going into the bank and extract money
Yeah, into the
and
ATM.
people account, or you're going
The
back in the ATM?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what happened is that the device gets the information and had a camera that gets the pin.
Okay.
But they also, and I'm gonna put this out there because I'm saying this: people who working in the bank, listen, because I've tried even during my time while incarcerated, I've tried through my lawyer to not to, because I didn't care about a lower sentence,
Right.
but I know that there was such poor security when it comes to
How the bank deal with the people
the
money?
bank deal with the money in Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not saying this because I don't need anything in the sense of
Yeah.
praise or money or anything like that. I'm saying it because it is still poor.
At this point.
It is still poor at this point. No, I would never go back down that. I would never
Yeah.
go down that road.
Right.
Never. I mean, my life is
Much better now.
completely turned around.
100%.
But I'm saying it so that the people who deals with bank security especially
should be aware.
step up your game, man. Step it up. It's too poor. I mean, if Rogers, most people don't even know that a lot of these ATM pins, you don't even need it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because some of the ATM,
cards
some of the
now
banks in
have-
Grenada, you didn't even need the pin. I was typing in 1 2 3 4,
And he just access the
and he
account.
accessing the account.
Wow.
0000, and it accessing the account.
Wow.
And I'm saying this now with a serious face. And in some of these ATMs, it's still like that,
Mm-hmm.
even up to today.
Yeah.
No, I would never share that. I would not share this information. I'm saying it in the sense that I'm not going to share this information so other people
People
can go and
do
commit
it.
crime.
Yeah.
I'm sharing this information so that the
Bank could
the
be
people in the
aware.
bank can be aware, and they could take steps
Yeah.
to mitigate those situations.
Right.
To mitigate those situations, because even through my lawyer, I remember I said to my lawyer, I said, listen, I know of a group that is about to hit Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
I said,
That was back then, right?
that was back then.
Yeah.
I said, listen, I'm in prison already, but it's gonna look bad on Grenada.
Yeah. Knowing that you don't even know, you know what they.
And it was not a situation where to snitch,
Yeah.
I did it in a way so that he can get the information to the bank
Yeah.
so that they can be aware.
Aware. Right.
And nothing was done. Lo and behold.
Keep any happen.
Oh Lord. But in any event,
So now
I'm in prison for the second time.
and then you said something. You said that the first time you get shot.
Yeah.
Because you said the first time you get shot. That was the first time you
Yeah,
get
so
shot
I
in
didn't
your butt.
talk about the second time I got shot.
Yeah.
The second time I got shot is on a robbery here in Grenada. I robbed an individual
Right.
and I went too close to him. So by going up too close to him, he grabbed the gun.
Right.
So we started to wrestle for the gun.
Right.
And the gun went off. Because when I went to rob the gentleman, I cocked the gun.
Okay.
And by us wrestling for the gun went off and I got a 9mm bullet in my head. Yeah, see the mark?
Yeah.
9mm bullet
So
in my head.
the bullet gone into your head there?
It didn't went into my head.
Graze.
It didn't graze. It bust away a piece of flesh. And while we wrestling, I felt something in my eyes.
Yeah.
So I pressed the magazine out. I had the present of mind. I pressed the magazine out of the gun. And I took one of my hand and I rubbed. And when I looked, I realized it's blood.
Blood.
So I let go the gun and I took off. Again, I jumped into the sea. Yeah, and I jumped into the sea and I swam.
Wow. Where were you? In Lansopy?
Granans Beach.
Okay.
I jumped
That
into the
area,
sea and I
okay.
swim far distance to be able to
Brother.
get away. Yeah.
So it was caught.
No, well,
I mean, I know it's a kind of funny question, but
no. I want to answer that question
think-
because it's a good question.
Yeah.
No, because I just tell people I was a coward.
Mm.
But what kind of coward I was? I was a coward that were not willing to face my responsibility.
Right.
But don't think I'm a coward that wouldn't do your thing.
Do something. Okay. Right.
So no.
But you know
But
to
the
earn
reason why
praise of your life.
the reason why I let go the gun, because eventually if I'm bleeding, eventually I'm going to collapse. I've been in
Yeah.
that position before.
Yeah, so you know.
So I don't want to collapse with the person.
Right
then
there.
eventually that's automatically lock up. Even though with my being shoot out in the head.
Yeah.
Now I'm married, eh?
Yeah.
So when I go home now,
Why you tell your wife?
I told my wife that somebody hit my lash wood in my head.
She believe?
She
Oh,
had no other choice. I mean, but I couldn't go in the hospital either.
Okay.
So my wife now have to
Stitch
patch
it.
me up. And I thank God because this heel, I mean, if you don't really look close,
Yeah,
you wouldn't see that. But
yeah.
it literally had a
It'll tell
drain.
you,
It had a
you know.
drain in my head, you know.
Yeah.
A literal drain in my head with the flesh actually separated.
Separate.
And I nursed it until it healed.
So them time you're now outside. Or
Also,
you're outside and you're wearing a hat or something.
yeah, I'm wearing a hat. I'm wearing a hat. I had it
So
banned.
nobody
I had
knew.
it banned.
So I'm assuming the gentleman would have reported that to the police.
I
police.
didn't get
I
questioned.
hear nothing
I
about
never
that.
heard anything about that. Never got questioned.
I
I guess
he
that
and
was
all didn't even know you get shot in the head then.
no, apparently not.
Yeah, he
Maybe
didn't
some
know.
blood get on him, but he
Yeah,
probably wouldn't
he
have
probably
known.
think
The
it's
other
that.
thing is that was also against my MO.
Okay.
So I guess that was one of the reason why the police never questioned me about that. It was against my MO because actually that's the only person I could ever remember trying to rob in Grenada.
Yeah.
Or the only individual ever trying to rob in Grenada.
Okay.
And I think because it was not my MO.
Right.
That is why I was never questioned.
So it was a whole different.
It was a whole different situation,
yeah.
different MO. So the police didn't think into themselves is that man.
Wow.
Yeah, because my MO was completely different. I think that's what it was. So now I end up in prison.
Right.
And I'm facing. No, before I end up in prison, I got locked up. My wife.
So you got locked up. You get bail. You come back out.
And that's when the bank fraud start.
Right.
I did the first one, and when I realized the money was so easy, I prepared. I say, you know what? I prepare for a month.
Right. So
Get enough information.
So them time they didn't have limits as to where you could draw it from the ATM, or you could have.
Yeah, it had limits, but it was how it was set up. It was set up in a way that you could write on a piece of paper, push it in the ATM, and say that you deposit $10,000, and the ATM accept that and tell you deposit $10,000. Yeah.
Yes. And the bank register it as
bank
that.
register it as
Then
that.
you could have draw it your portion one time. So them time they so it's like late in the night you're taking them monies or
So
they writing?
not late in the night or the wee hours of the morning. But eventually we decide to prepare for a weekend. And because the plan was to get $1 million in 1 weekend.
1 weekend. So you plan to hit multiple ATMs?
Yeah, all the ATMs in Grenada.
Right.
So we decided to start in Grenville.
Right. And then time they have multiple ATMs in Grenville. It's
So
now they tune down on the amount.
we did all the empty all the ATMs in Grenville. Then we come down. So we started all the ATMs in Tong, all the ATMs in Grenans, and the plan was to go. He had an ATM in Guava and he had one in St. Patrick's.
Yeah.
The idea was to hit them and empty them. But what happened is that apparently the police got wind. They realized something is happening.
Right.
So because the Friday night, I remember the Saturday night, we did Grenville, Tong, some parts of Grandlands.
Right.
And then the Sunday night was to do the other place, the rest of Grandlands and Guava and St. Patrick's.
So they high patrol that
But
time.
while we sitting in the vehicle in Grandlands, I noticed something strange. because one of the things I also did was I kept a mark in my head on police vehicles.
Okay.
I'm talking about police officers.
Yeah. So it's just so that
Vehicles.
we know them, right?
So I noticed I start seeing a lot of police officers' vehicle in Grenans.
Mm-hmm.
There was no activity going on.
Right.
So I'm not talking about packing. I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about passing, because where we were packed in Camahan, close to Camahan entrance.
Right.
So I'm observing, because it's not just to just go and do thing.
Right.
Observing, but I'm observing a lot of police vehicles, police private vehicles passing.
Okay.
So that literally spooked the
Right.
situation.
So you show you that
So insurance saw
something
something up.
So you
Something
pull
up.
back at that time, or you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We pull back. We pull back. We didn't bother the Sunday anymore.
Okay.
Because by that time now the
Like
bank,
weekend, one
the
bank closed
bank
till
got,
Monday.
but the bank, although they couldn't stop it, because unless somebody reports,
Report it.
you
And
can't
that
stop
weekend,
somebody
you can't
ATM.
report that weekend. If people wait until Monday.
Right, but I think the bank realized because they're trying to figure out how all these ATM being empty at the same time.
yeah.
But they had some way that they realized. So we pulled back. But eventually,
So then the banks didn't have no camera in the ATM.
yeah.
They had,
And this is where this is where I told you I decided to go all out.
Okay.
No mask.
Mm.
I mean, I just went out, no mask,
Okay.
all out, because I guess I got so
Confident. You know,
I got so arrogant. So
that's true, you know. If funny enough, I actually looked at movie like that where after men have been doing this so often, I guess so comfortable.
I felt so untouchable.
And yeah, just like
So I just decided to go bare mask, no mask. And
so the other men had mask, or
yeah, them other men had masks.
you in no mask?
But I just decided, you know what, I'm going all out.
So that time, you know, I've been thinking, boy, I have a child,
No,
I'm a wife,
no.
I could probably go to prison.
No.
You in business about that?
Actually, I did thought about that. I did thought about going to prison. I was actually okay with going to prison.
Okay, so I already had that conclusion.
Yeah,
in your
already,
mind.
because they already had the fact that I'm okay with going to prison, in the sense of if I can do the crime,
You save a big money, you come out.
I'm prepared to do the time, but I'll have the money waiting
for
when I come out. Yeah. But so eventually I got locked up. The police came because I had no mask. So the police came,
camera pick
I
you
got
up.
locked up. And while in lockup now, because I had other things to get rid of,
Right.
I decided I'm gonna escape.
Okay. In the prison?
In the police station.
police
Not in the
station.
prison, in the
Okay.
police station. So the police for 2 days, the police had me lock up. Actually, police lock up my wife. Me charge me right hand man, his mother, his sister.
Wow.
I mean, everybody got locked
And
up.
she don't even know nothing.
She
about
don't know
that.
nothing what's going on.
Yeah.
But so eventually, I decided I'm gonna escape. And
From the cell.
from the cell.
And
So-
we cell.
That's
so,
Granan's police station. So
so
I
you-
decided I'm gonna escape. So I got a piece of wire during the day. Because how the lock is in Granan's was a piece of cake.
Okay.
I mean that lock was would have been able to open in like 2 seconds.
They was joking, man.
Yeah. So so I decided I had my wire and everything prepared to open the cell in the night and leave. But an opportunity presented itself. One officer felt he could use psychology on me.
Oh.
He took me out of the cell, and what I did was I reversed the psychology on him.
Okay.
He was making me comfortable, but I made him comfortable
Yeah.
to the point where he left me sitting there
Yeah.
and
You
go.
gonna sleep?
Now I go and sleep. He left me sitting there and go around the back to answer a phone. And when he did that, I just took off. Because he wanted me to tell him where the money is.
Cause you want the potion.
So he used psychology so I could tell him where the money is. So he tried to make me as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
But I reversed the psychology on him to make him comfortable.
Oh, because he
Because I already had a plan. Because he
don't
had
have the
nothing to do
money.
with the case.
Right, and he don't have the money.
He don't have the money.
Yeah, so it's not like he even trying to get info so he could say, well, he get the evidence.
He wants to know
For
where the
your own
money
self.
is. So he started off by telling me, if I give him the money, he gonna make them drop the charges.
Wow, and you know he had no power to do that.
But I knew he had no power to do that.
Yeah.
So what I did was I just reversed the psychology. on him and make him comfortable, because if he trying to make me comfortable, he have to get comfortable for I to be comfortable.
Yeah, it's true.
So eventually he got so comfortable, the phone ring, he left me sitting there and go and answer the phone. That's how comfortable he gets it.
So did they report that a man escaped?
Yeah, it was a situation
So
where
that time he went in hiding, you could have go anywhere in the world.
Right,
You could have
so-
jump a boat. You could have,
I escaped Central Grandin's police station. I went up on the hill. I went down in the back by Fantasia. I took a surfboard and I surfed from all the way from the point. What are you calling the point there? Quarantine
quarantine point,
point to Port Louis. I surfed from there to Port Louis, and then I walked from Port Louis to Mount Parnassus.
But why you go back home?
Yeah, because I had to get rid of. Remember,
The
my plan was to
evidence.
escape to
So-
get rid of a lot of stuff from around the
Yeah.
house,
Okay.
because I had a lot of stuff hidden around the house.
Okay.
So when I got there, I get rid of it.
You throw it away, you hide it, you
I
bury
get rid
it.
of it. But I also took some, because
Okay.
even while I was on the run in Grenada, I did some more.
Okay. So
And I
even
think
then-
that is where the plot came to kill me.
Okay. The
Because
police.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that's where the plot came to kill me now, because if I'm on the run and I went right next to the police station and do it.
Wow. That's
So while they're looking for me, no, in town.
in town.
While they're looking for me, I went right next to CID. That time CID was in town, right there
Yeah.
on Halifax Street.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went right there in the ATM and take out money again.
Wow.
And I think that's where the plot came.
They
No,
catch you,
we need to
they
kill
go
this,
shoot you.
we need to kill this man. So now I decided that I had to get out of Grenada.
Right.
So I decided to I knew this guy. I knew this where he from? Brazil. I knew this Brazilian guy. Died now. He actually died in a vehicle accident in Grenada.
Okay.
I knew this Brazilian guy, and I went to him, and he set it up
Okay.
that I could get a boat from Grenada to St. Vincent.
Right.
And the first attempt I made, I was
Coast Guard?
thrown out in the ocean.
Wait. So your escape boat, your escape boat, them men pick you up, you go in and them men shoot you like Jonah.
Yeah, because the Coast Guard was coming.
Oh, so the
So
man said they didn't take in that trouble.
Yeah,
so
the man wasn't prepared for that
that.
kind of problem. So I was thrown out in the ocean and I swam ashore.
Wow. So we end up
Back in Grenada,
which part though?
Granroy. Granroy, and the police was so sure that it was I on the boat
Yeah.
that when I got up to the road on Granroy, after I passed Granroy police station,
Yeah.
so I walk up because I came ashore right on in the river
Right.
in Granroy,
Yeah, I know you're right.
and I'm walking up that incline
Yeah, I know
to
you.
get down that stretch.
Right.
A police van passed me.
Yeah.
The driver, when I came back to Grenada, eventually the driver said, I told them, man, that was you,
Yeah.
But what I did was I continued walking towards the police. They stopped.
Yeah.
But because I continued walking towards
They
the
say
police
you in
vehicle,
run.
they say that can't be that man. If that man, that run.
You that run.
So because I continued to walk towards the vehicle, they continued driving.
Wow.
Yeah. They intercepted the boat and I wasn't there. So you see if I was on the boat. So the men couldn't take that chance, so they threw me overboard.
So the men didn't say you, were they?
Yeah.
They didn't say
Well, they couldn't say because they would have
they
gotten
would
charged.
get in charge.
They would have got charged for harboring a fugitive.
Yeah.
So they didn't charge. But the second time I
So you attempt to go again after that?
yeah. Actually, I attempted to go, but I still, even while attempting to go, I even still got in some problems to get to go because that Saturday, Wagiti football was going on and opening. I didn't know. So I catch a bus from Palmis.
Yeah.
I stayed up there until it get dark. I catch a bus from Palmis. And when I'm heading to Tong, I sit by the window in the back.
Yeah.
So I sent up a $50 to pay the bus. The conductor say, "Chicken man, you're wanted by the police and you're on this bus."
Wow. I mean, you could have melt. You could have melt at that time.
So immediately I see people take out their phone.
Ooh, and then put a bungee on it.
Yeah, so watch where Boucheju come into play again. So I dropped out in Boucheju.
Yeah.
And when I drop out in bushes, everybody had to come out of the bus for me to get out.
Yeah, 'cause in the back.
So when I drop out, I started to walk up Granny Vale.
Yeah.
But when the bus left, I walk back out of Granny Vale and I go and I stand in Bushes pasture.
Right.
And while I'm standing there, two police van blasting go up Granny Vale. I go on the other side, I take a bus. and I head to town.
That mind of yours at that time was different.
Yeah, because people got on their phone, so it's obviously they either texting or they calling the police.
Yeah, hot.
Right. So eventually they think that they're going to tell them that I go up in Granny Vale, and the police gone up in Granny Vale, and I just take a bus and I went down, and that's how. And that's no, the first attempt were not the Brazilian. The first attempt was someone else from, actually a guy from Carriacou.
Okay.
That came down to Grenada to pick me up to drop me in St. Vincent. And the second attempt was the guy from Brazil.
Okay.
And so that's how I ended up getting out of Grenada.
So you did get away from Grenada.
I did get away from Grenada for a
how
while.
long so?
It was about a week.
Okay.
I was on the run for about a week.
So
but even when
so you're out, you get to St. Vincent and you're in St. Vincent, but you stayed there a while. Did you
only
continue
a
the
week.
crime?
Yeah, that's where I'm getting at that now. I couldn't for the whole week. I couldn't eat. There was no solid food could have stayed in my stomach.
Right.
If I eat anything solid, I vomit.
You were sick?
No, I wasn't sick. I was not sick. What happened is that the fact that when you're on the run, there's a different kind of not I don't know if it's adrenaline, but there's a different kind of chemical that releases in your body.
Yeah.
And when you're on the run, knowing that you can die, because I could have also died in Jumbi.
Yeah.
You know Jumbi area in Tempe?
No.
Okay. The morning after I escaped, I'm in Jumbi, Backstreet Jumbi.
Yeah, no Backstreet, right?
Right, by the laundry. I'm in that area, and apparently somebody saw me. So I took a cardboard box and I decided to go and lie down in that area, but they saw where I went.
Yeah.
But when I went on that tree to lie down to get some rest, somebody actually had used it as a toilet.
Oh.
So I moved from that area and I moved like across the area. And while I'm lying there resting, I hear about 5 or 6 vehicles pull up, and I hear doors open and close.
Right.
And I got up and I'm standing and I'm seeing a line of SSU. Just following a track where I went to lie down before.
Wow.
Listen, I freeze.
Yeah.
And I'm standing in Greenbush in a red jersey, and they didn't see me.
Wow.
And when all of them pass, I pick up my bag. I couldn't even take the shoes and the phone that I had. I just take up the bag and put on my back, and I took off the other direction.
Wow. So all that time, what going on with your Wi-Fi?
Well, she didn't know where I was at the time. I guess she told me the police contact her and tell her that because even when I went to the house, I didn't even interact with her because the fact that I didn't want next thing the police was around.
Yeah.
And they would have, you understand,
Yeah.
knew that I interacted with her because I'm trying to keep my wife out of this as much as possible that I can. And she has a young baby.
Yeah.
You understand? So as much as it was a dramatic situation, I'm trying to keep her out of it as possible. No, for the 7 days I was on the run, I couldn't eat. I didn't eat.
So, wow.
No solid food. I was drinking Vitamalt. Only thing that could have stayed on in my stomach was Vitamalt. Anytime I try to eat something solid, from the moment that I swallow,
vomiting,
I vomit right back up.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the fear, fight or flight that was going on in me. Experiencing that. So with that, no solid food could have stayed on. But when I got to St. Vincent, there were part of me that couldn't leave St. Vincent.
Okay.
Because I felt that if I leave St. Vincent, I would never see my son again. And I think that took a toll on me.
Right.
That's one of the things that took the biggest toll on me when I was on the run. Mind you, I buy a ticket to England already.
Yeah.
I bought a ticket. Within that 7 days, I got a letter from a company in England with an invitation to come to England.
To work?
No. To actually, I contacted this company, let them know that I want to come and buy some equipment.
Okay.
So they sent me a letter of invitation saying I'm coming to to England to
Right.
buy some equipment from them. And so I had the letter, I had the ticket, and I decide I will go back to Grenada to turn myself in. So I contacted my lawyer, and there where I get the news that I'm actually wanted dead or alive.
Yeah.
So my lawyer now started to communicate with the commissioner,
Right.
and the commissioner is telling me, lawyer is telling me that the commissioner said to him that the only way I could come back to Grenada and my life is preserved if my lawyer hide me a way to bring him directly to him.
Yeah.
So there was also a fear in me not to go back to
Is it like
Grenada.
one of the lawyer would come up short if
Well,
you jump with you?
that was fine. But actually I made preparation to go back.
Okay.
So I made preparation to catch the boat, the ferry from because that was the plan, to catch the ferry from St. Vincent to Union, and then take a speedboat from Union to
come
drop
to
me in
Grenada.
St. Patrick's.
Okay.
And the lawyer is gonna pick me up on the coast in St. Patrick's and bring me to Commissioner Clarkson.
Right.
When I got to the ferry wasn't running that day. So all the plan changed.
Oh boy.
So I tell the lawyer, hey, what? Since the ferry is not running that day, that's a sign that I don't need to come back to Grenada. So I decide I'm gonna leave St. Vincent the Friday morning. So I bought a ticket to England,
Right.
leaving St. Vincent 9 o'clock the morning. And I had this taxi man that I would pay to go around with me. So I tell him 4 o'clock the morning, come and meet me. I need to go to the ATM to get some money.
Right.
And when I went to the ATM.
But then you already say
I took out $50,000 from the ATM in St. Vincent.
same thing.
Same thing.
Wow.
And when I got back to the taxi man, I just make a joke and I say, you know where I could get a Vinci passport to buy? Lo and behold, the man had the contact for a Vinci passport to buy. You know?
Yeah.
And the man took me by a big immigration man.
Yeah.
I paid the money. The gentleman gave me the name. He gave me my father's name, my mother's name, the name on that are going to be on the passport. And he tell me to go and take 2 pictures,
Right.
send me by a JP, specific JP, to get the passport picture signed and bring it back. We did all that, and then he said, come back for the passport 3 o'clock on Friday.
Right.
So I with the taxi man. Now mind you, I was to leave St. Vincent 9 o'clock the morning. So I bought that. And I decided to wait for the Vinci passport.
Right.
Because I was going to England on my brother's passport.
Oh. Using his name.
Using his name.
Boy, you change the picture?
No. I'm not thinking about all these things and them.
So
I'm
your
not,
brother look alike?
no. But you think immigration officers don't stand in a immigration and stare at you and stare at a picture? They don't do that.
Okay.
Immigration
So you get
don't.
through?
Immigration. No, I didn't get to travel on it, you know.
Oh.
I didn't get to travel on it. But what I'm saying is that even if I did, I would have gotten to travel on it.
Yeah.
Because it would not have been a situation where I would have feared, put a hat on, and you know.
Do I do?
I mean, we not.
change.
My brother and I look alike in the sense, but we don't have the same features.
Well, I'm not changing the world now.
Yeah.
So.
So I stayed with the taxi man whole day. This is where it all came crashing down. I stayed with the taxi man all day. And about 2 o'clock the evening, I say I need to go and take a shower.
Right.
And I went to take the shower, and I'm sitting on the balcony of the guest house, and I'm watching so I can see when the taxi man is coming.
Right.
And all of a sudden, like a swarm of police.
Wow.
But when they came up to me, what's your name? I gave them the name. I gave them my brother's name.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for Alister Stanislaus. So I
Yeah.
gave them my brother's name. He said, your name is Alister Stanislaus. Your name is not Alister Stanislaus. No, your name is not my brother's name.
Yeah.
I want to give the name, but your name is not your brother's name.
Yeah.
So he said, where you from? I tell him I'm from Grenada. He said, you the man we looking for, man.
Yeah.
You're the man we looking for. And then they take me, they went back to the room, gather my stuff. And that was it.
Came back home.
Came back. Well, I ain't come back home. I got sentenced to 30 days in prison
In
in St.
Vinci?
Vincent because for some reason, again, the prosecutor wanted to put me on the plane by myself.
Oh.
But I had this plane. For some crazy reason, I had this plan to jump out the plane
Yeah?
in the ocean.
So you're gonna open the plane door
Yeah,
and
I would have. If they had put me on the plane by myself, I would not have gotten back to Grenada.
wow.
Yeah, I would not have gotten back to Grenada. But for some reason, the magistrate had some wisdom. He said, I'm not going to put this man on a plane by himself.
Wow.
I'm going to give him 30 days and let Grenada come up for him.
Wow.
And that's what happened. 30 days later, Grenada sent up 2 officers to escort me back to Grenada.
So now you come back to Grenada yeah, and you get to see your wife, you get to see your
Yeah,
children.
well, I got to see my wife. I got to see my son.
What her reaction? What was she thinking?
Well, I mean, 30 days has passed, and I've been on the news for the whole 30 days.
Yeah.
Every day for 30 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, it was in the public domain. Nothing she could have already do. She just had to try to gather up the
accept it
pieces,
and
navigate
just-
it
yeah.
as best she can. But when I got back to Grenada, I ended up in solitary confinement.
Right.
One of the good things, again, you see, boy, when God is with you.
Yeah.
I must stress that
I had to
point
say
because
that.
even in all my mess, God was with me because I was solitary confinement for 8 months, and in that 8 months, I had special visit with my son and my wife.
Yeah.
In the sense that people.
That's in the prison.
Yeah, I actually had contact visit in the sense of, they used to take me up to the commissioner office, because when I got back to Grenada, Commissioner Mackenzie was the commissioner, and I explained to him. I said, listen, most likely I'm gonna be here for a long time. If there is only one thing you could do for me, I would love to have a relationship with my son.
Yeah.
So I'm not asking for nothing else.
Right.
Just give me that. And he allowed that.
Okay.
So it started as once a week I would have a special visit with my wife and my son.
Okay.
So that because remember, my son is like months old at that time.
Yeah, because everything happened rapid.
Right.
Yeah.
So I actually wanted to build that bond with him, so that even though I'm gonna be in prison for a long time, I still does not lose that bond.
Yeah.
And I thank God that he actually allowed that to happen. And even as time progressed, the special visit became even more special.
Okay.
In the sense that as my son continued to grow and I was in prison, I was able to read with him, do homework with him,
okay,
and all this kind of thing. So we developed a pretty good bond. And again, because I had certain gift, before I went to prison, those gifts again made way for me
in the prison.
Right. Because I went to the prison as a poultry specialist.
Right.
So even at the time that I was in solitary confinement and before I got sentenced, I couldn't walk.
Right.
The commissioner still rely on my expertise,
right,
to give advice and stuff.
Okay.
So that in itself, he felt that if I'm going to give them that advice, those expertise, then they should extend something to me.
Something to you in the process.
So that actually made some ways for me.
For you, right.
But when I got out of solitary confinement and I got sentenced, again, those gifts continue to make ways.
Okay.
Because I started to teach poultry production in prison.
Okay.
I started to work on the farm. So I was able to, and I'm talking about working for good money. You know? I don't want to say the figure because some of you all might want to go to prison to work for that. Right? But don't go to prison. Right?
I get it, right?
Yeah, so I was able to help my family. Still.
Right.
Even while being in prison.
So I know, like, so is it a case where you would see, like, do you feel like any form of like reformation or rehabilitation, even though we know, based on the crimes that happen, the possibility exists that you're there for a while based on the crimes.
I was facing life in prison.
Right.
I was facing life.
So do you still feel like you're being rehabilitated or by what was happening in the prison.
No,
It was just
survival.
survival.
The best I can.
Okay.
And because I felt because again and again, because I had those gifts in me, and those gifts could have I utilize it in a way that it could have helped my family
Right.
on the
I get you.
outside. Because even when
so some part I still care about.
yeah,
about
definitely,
that. Yeah.
definitely. And then my wife said to me, even if I was sentenced to life in prison, she's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean that's like I mean that's so deep. Like, what put that conviction in this woman that she would say something like that? It's
I
really
didn't
reassuring.
believe it.
Well, I mean, I don't think I would have believed it either, because I just put you through hell and back, and you telling me still that you love me so much that even though
Yeah.
I'd have to think about another man,
Yeah.
I think my brain would have started thinking, nah, but that can't be true,
But her actions showed
it
it.
showed it, yeah.
Her action definitely showed it, because eventually when I come out of solitary confinement and she couldn't come because in solitary confinement it was once a week.
Okay.
But when I got out of solitary confinement, it became 3 times a week.
Okay.
And she would be she would be there 3
frequent.
times
Yeah,
a
the
week.
time. Okay.
And even if I tell her, well, don't come today now,
Still coming.
I'm still here in my name. But what was able to happen is that again, because of the gift, I was able to negotiate with the prison,
Right.
in the sense of, because I had those unique gifts.
So you see there as the ability, not just encouraging now, but being able to convince.
Yeah.
Right? Convince.
And I'm about to show you how convincing that
Yeah,
situation is.
Go ahead.
So because of the gift, I was able to work, but I didn't just want to work as an ordinary prisoner,
Okay.
because I explained to the commissioner I could literally transform the poultry industry in prison,
Right.
because I had the skill set and I had also the mindset and the work ethics
Right.
to do it. So I negotiated tough. I negotiated to the point that I said, every batch of chicken, I need 2 for my family.
Okay.
And eventually I became the butcher.
Yeah.
And every time an animal kill, 20 pound of meat is for my family.
Wow. So she would sell that, or
No,
just for them to
well,
have?
she would just for them to have.
Have to. Okay.
And then she could also pass it on to
Just
some of her
the
family.
Right.
And every week I tray an egg. That was my negotiation.
Okay.
So that my family, if I'm gonna do this, my family is gonna benefit from it. We're gonna benefit from it. And it was agreed.
Yeah.
It was agreed. So then, although I'm in prison, I still.
So you won't be even bad still at
No,
that
no,
time.
no.
Right.
At that time
So
in
you're
prison,
still
I'm not.
productive.
Actually, I was a pretty good behaved prisoner,
Yeah.
to the point where I got into fights, but not in the sense of with gang people.
Okay.
It was more defensive.
Okay.
And anytime somebody would subdue, there's something in me that if I'm fighting, anytime somebody's subdued, I don't do anything anymore.
Extra from that.
I don't go
Okay.
any extra mile
Okay.
to advantage people or anything like that. And again, my boxing skills
Yeah.
came in with good effect.
Yeah.
So I was able to persuade the commissioner.
Okay.
And then after doing that for a while, the opportunity came up to teach poultry production at CVQ level.
Okay.
Right. So I taught poultry production for a couple of years at CVQ level, getting a monthly salary.
Yeah.
From the
So
government.
You're not just there doing the work itself, but no, you're the teacher.
Teacher.
That's
So
all
I taught prisoners and officers also,
Yeah.
because some officers also took the course
Yeah.
at a CVQ level.
And that's something that you actually learned in Barbados.
Yeah.
So you see, you never know when you were learning that at that time.
That would have
come to that point.
And sometimes,
It's amazing.
and that is why sometimes I could relate to Joseph's situation so much.
Right.
Because Joseph gift also made way for him
yeah.
while in the prison.
In the prison, yeah.
Because it was his gift that actually took him out of the prison into the palace, right? Because somebody realized that he's gifted in doing something,
Right.
or interpreting dreams,
Right.
So he was able to come from the prison
and do
and
that.
into the palace.
So you're in prison, yeah? And you know his life. But do you have any angst or hope that somehow, boy, I come out in a prison one day and I'll be able to go back in society with my family and maybe I'll try to be a better man now that I know I don't have to live that way. What's going on in your head?
No, I'm not. At that time, I'm not thinking that.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking
So
that
just
at all.
telling yourself you're here and that's where
I'm
to stay.
here. I'm here. No. By that time, I got sentenced to 22 years in prison.
Right.
But I'm fighting
Mm-hmm.
because although my wife said to me she's not going nowhere,
Right.
but 22 years is still a long time.
Very long.
So there is a fight in me. So I actually studied law in prison. You know?
Right.
I studied law in prison and decided to represent myself.
Okay.
Because I got 22 years sentence with paying 3 lawyers.
Wow.
So I decided I'm going to represent myself in the appeal court.
So that money you're making, why isn't there use some of that to try to get a lawyer to help you?
No, I said if I'm going to, I'd rather take care of my
But
family.
prior to that though, but no, the paying the 3 lawyers I mentioned, was it in that way? Or
No, you mean from money that I'm making in prison? No. That was from money from what I got from before.
okay.
Money I got from before from the bank bank situation.
Okay.
I paid lawyer thousands and thousands. I paid one lawyer. The first lawyer was paid $25,000 and never showed up a day in court.
Yeah. In shop.
Not a day.
And the man get paid. Jeez, that man owe you
But in
money.
any event, thank God, praise God.
That man owe you some money.
No, he ain't owe me anything, man. That was all part of God's plan.
I know, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so eventually because I felt I paid 3 lawyers and I got 22 years, I'm saying I'm going to represent myself because the
Right.
Constitution make provision for you to
Going to do that,
represent
represent
yourself.
yourself.
So I studied, man. I read case files, I read case files, and eventually I wrote up my own deposition and I submitted to the appeal court, and within 6 months,
Right.
my appeal came up
Okay.
and my sentence was reduced from 22 years to 12 years.
Okay.
That's actually the reason why I'm actually sitting here
Sitting
tonight.
today.
Because if I were to do the 22 years, I would have still been in prison all now. And that is why, and at that time, I didn't even know God. But God is at work, and I didn't even know what is taking place.
Yeah.
So eventually, I got released in, now mind you,
So many years you said in prison? 9.
I spent 10 calendar years.
10 calendar years. Okay.
10 calendar years. And eventually in 2019, the 20th of December 2019, I got released.
Right.
But before I got released, I made this super plan
What was the plan?
to rob a bank in Tong.
So you still have
Oh
this
my
plan.
God.
Still have this
I
plan.
came up
now.
with this super idea to rob a bank in Tong, and that would be my retirement plan. Mind you, while I'm in prison, I had
You
somebody.
You reading the Bible? In prison?
Yeah, I actually read the Bible in prison.
did
and
you-
I read the Bible in prison from Genesis to Revelation 3 times
So
in solitary confinement, though.
You used to go to the. Did you used to go to the like when people come to visit? You used to you
Church?
yeah.
No, I
Were
was
you
nothing
allowed
to do.
to, or you
I
just
was
never
allowed
go?
to eventually, but I would never. I want nothing. I want to hear nothing about God. I want nothing to do
So
with
when you were
God.
allowed, you still didn't want
No.
to.
No.
Why you make me feel like you hate God?
Actually, when I hear church service going on, I used to vex.
It's so weird. I know it. I can understand how you're saying that to an extent because, to be honest, when I was younger, I used to hate when them seven days Adventist community and trying to have what they call crusading on these
Yeah.
big tents. That used to piss me off as a young boy. And then Jehovah's Witnesses, when they passing around and they come and tell, I say, like, come on here, that God, come
No,
down here, that.
but it wasn't because of that.
Well, anyway,
It
I
was
just
disturbing
saying,
my demons. That's what it was. It was disturbing those demons in me,
inside of you.
inside of me.
Yeah, and then you have at that time you're not even recognizing. Well, again, you see, when you're ignorant, in that sense, you have no idea as to what is really happening.
Yeah. Because all this is happening, but I didn't know it's God's plan that is coming to pass.
So when you're reading that Bible, nothing jump out at you to
Yeah,
see.
there were things that there was time to make underline in the Bible, but it was not no conviction or
Conviction,
anything. There was
okay.
nothing to convict me. I mean, I've read the story with Joseph and
Yeah.
all this kind of thing, and the story with Moses and
Yeah.
all these I've read those things, but I read it because I was in solitary confinement. That was the only book
Only book you had.
I was allowed. So if I read from Genesis to Revelation and I have nothing else, I start reading it again.
Because that was the only thing to keep your mind, and you like
Exactly.
reading.
And I like
You
reading. So I
Wow.
had no choice. So eventually when I got released with this great plan. But so COVID come and happen now, the lockdown start.
Right,
And
2019.
there's a pattern here how God works, because I still thank God that I actually got out of prison before the lockdown.
Yeah,
Because I actually believe my family would have been totally devastated.
yeah. With COVID happening,
With COVID happening,
and then she
my
can't
wife
come
and
to
son
visit
would
you.
have been totally devastated. Not in
Yeah.
the fact of they couldn't come to visit, literally the fact of survival.
Okay.
In
Hold
the
on, I
sense,
ain't sure I
because,
fully
okay,
understand. Give me a little more
in the
detail.
sense of because my wife was struggling to make it, just to make ends meet.
Right.
Her mom had died a few months before.
Okay.
She lost her mom a few months before. She has our son still young, right? He is still young and he is growing up, so she have to be doing all these things on her own.
Right.
Now, if COVID would have met her on her own, now remember, she's staying single.
Yeah.
She's saving herself.
And then you can't even go outside. COVID and
That's
lockdown
the point.
situation.
That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. So by the time I get out, COVID start. Now, before the lockdown start, I already start putting the plan in motion for this bank robbery. Getting all what I need.
Right.
Putting everything in place. COVID, the lockdown came and start, and that actually presented a great opportunity. Because everybody have to wear masks everywhere you go.
Right.
So it actually presented a great opportunity. I saw it as an opportunity to execute.
Execute, right.
Lo and behold, 2 weeks before the robbery, I got saved.
Tell us
2
about
weeks
that.
before
Tell
the
us about
robbery.
that part. Yeah.
No, before the robbery, no, I'm not working. How I'm surviving is actually I'm actually buying credit card information online.
Yeah.
I'm buying credit card information online and I'm using it. Because this was something I actually did before I go to prison. So I knew where to buy credit card information, how to set up stuff to utilize it. So what I was doing, I would buy credit card information, buy Digicel credit, and then I would sell back the Digicel credit.
Oh.
That's how I flip in the cash.
Okay.
So I flip in from credit to cash. And then based on how it was set up at the time, credit was selling rapidly.
Yeah. People was buying a lot of
People was buying a lot of credit on the
especially
street.
at time and so forth. Yeah. Anybody walking
Anybody
with a phone,
walking with a phone selling credit, people
and
buying.
you have to walk to digital before again.
Right. So I'm doing this, preparing for the bank robbery. And I remember the night I went to bed about after 1. Now, mind you, my wife is fighting up with this business that we're doing right now.
Right,
She's
no,
doing it by
right.
herself, fighting up, and I don't have time with that. And I went to bed about after 1, and in the middle of the night, about 3 o'clock, or after 3 in the morning,
Right.
I heard this voice, and this voice say, "Alister, I need you to give your life to me right now." So I started to cry.
Right.
Then the voice said again, "Alister, I need you to give your life to me right now." So I got up. I went to the bathroom. When I came back in the bedroom, I met my wife sitting on the edge of the bed.
Right.
So I took my wife by the hand, not saying anything. I didn't say anything to her. I took her by the hand and I walked out in the living room. She may be wondering what's going on.
Right.
And I dropped on my knees. And that's the last thing I remember.
Yeah.
Everything else that happened after that, my wife had to explain to me what happened.
Wow.
And it took about 45 minutes. And she explained to me that I was foaming from my mouth.
Yeah.
I was rolling on the ground. I was screaming to the point where the neighbors woke up. All of them thought I was going crazy.
Right.
Because I'm rolling around on the ground and screaming at the top of my lungs. And I'm talking about with my mouth open, and that is actually was a deliverance taking place.
Yeah. Divine.
Because the Holy Spirit had to come himself to deliver me, because I had legions
Right.
of demons, you know. And it took 45 minutes. And when it was over, the Holy Spirit said to me, when you get off the ground, call Pastor Hector.
Right.
Now, watch this. I did not know Pastor Hector.
Right. And Pastor Hector coming in the prison all the time. And you ain't going.
This is how I have Pastor Hector number.
Oh.
There was a young man when I was in prison. While I was in prison, this is how I get to know the information about the bank.
Okay.
Because so I already had inside information about the bank before I came out of prison.
Okay.
When the young man was leaving prison, I gave him an assignment to go up inside a certain bank.
Right.
And I need you to map out the bank for me.
Right.
So the individual came out of prison and went up inside the bank and mapped out the whole information of the bank for me. So I had that information even before I come out of prison.
Imagine you convince a man to do that again.
So, so the young man, I passing that time I'm living in Good Hope, and I'm passing and I see the young man there one day.
Right.
And I stopped to speak to him.
Right.
And Pastor Hector came out.
Okay.
Because I never spoke to Pastor Hector before.
Okay.
So Pastor Hector tell me, take my number, man.
Yeah.
So I took his number knowing that I would never speak to him, never call him.
Right.
Because at that time, me was studying God. I was studying anything to do with that.
Yeah.
And so I took his number and I saved it in the phone. But you see, the Holy Spirit is working even before I knew what is going on.
Right.
That is why the Holy Spirit was able to tell me, when I'm finished with you, call Pastor Hector. So I had Pastor Hector's number already saved in the phone.
Right.
And I called Pastor Hector and he came up at the house and I explained to him what had taken place that morning.
Right.
And I say, I want to get baptized right now.
One time.
I wanted to get baptized because what had happened, the individual that went to bed that night, after that deliverance, was a completely different person.
How could you tell besides that, like, based on what you know, can you remember like the feeling or what was going on in your head?
Yeah.
Was there all of a sudden that you recognize how bad a person, so to speak, that you were, knowing very well the things that you have done with your temple?
There was such a joy.
Yeah.
There was such a peace.
Right.
There was such a level of loving people. My whole loving my family.
Right.
I start seeing my wife and my son completely different.
Right.
The things that interest me had no interest. I would spend the whole day on the computer.
Right.
After that day, that computer had no interest to me anymore.
Okay.
Actually, Prince started to spend more time on the computer than me.
That time he was what age so then?
He was about 9.
9. Okay.
He was about 9.
Right.
Because
that seemed similar time to like how you spend within that place.
Yeah. Because when I came out, he wasn't, because he's 15 now and I've been out 6 years.
Okay.
Right. So he was 9. And those things had no interest to me. But one of the things that started to happen immediately, I started to call people and let them know we could no longer have the same relationship that we had yesterday.
Okay.
I remember my right hand man, because he came out of prison long before me. Eh?
Okay.
Years before me.
Okay.
Years before me. And but we planning the bank robbery.
Yeah.
And he and his daughter and my son going to the same school.
Right.
That same day, when he picking up his daughter, I have something to tell you. I said, that's it for me, you know.
Yeah.
It's over. And the first words out of his mouth,
You
got saved. That was the first words out of his mouth. And I said to him, how you knew?
Yeah.
He said, there's something different about you. Just like he says, there's something different about you. And I said, listen, I found Jesus.
Yeah.
And all what we used to do, I done with that.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was it. I remember later that day, every girl, because even out of prison.
Right.
Remember, I spent 10 calendar years in prison, meet a wife waiting. None of these female, no
None of
female
them
ever
was
came
there.
to look
None
for
of
me.
them
And I
come.
still start going back behind them.
Yeah.
That same day,
Hmm.
every one number that I had,
Hmm.
I called them and let them know from this day forth,
We're done with
there could
that.
never be
Yeah.
another relationship between us at that level. Now I can speak to you, but on a completely different level,
Yeah. Yeah.
and not even by phone.
Yeah.
If I see you somewhere,
On the road.
and I cut off
Wow.
all those relationships that same day because there was something in me that completely shifted.
Shifted. Yeah.
The Holy Spirit completely turned my mind, and my life has never
Been the same.
been the same
It's
again.
a serious transformation.
Never been the same. But I want to share this because this is something I know you and I had conversation about this before. I was delivered that day,
Right.
but I was not set free.
Well, and that's the deeper side of it. And that's like a whole nother conversation we have to have with that one. You understand? Because trust me, I know it's deep. Right? And people might be wondering. But in a nutshell, drop it because
Yeah.
I had such an experience too in a different format.
So
Yeah.
So I was delivered that day by the Holy Spirit,
Right.
but my freedom depended on me.
Yeah.
All the information that I had before that,
Right.
I had to change those information.
So what particular scripture renewed that mind? Or that's what we want to get.
Right.
Because now we want to know.
Now, my
Right.
favorite scripture in the Bible, Ephesians chapter 4.
Right.
Let me get it right scripture. Ephesians chapter 4. I know it word by word, but I want to get it right verse.
Yeah.
Ephesians chapter 4 verse 28. Anyone that was stealing,
Still no more.
steal no
Yeah.
more.
You still no more. Right.
Find something to do with your own hands,
Hands. Yeah.
and you would have enough to feed others.
Right.
And listen, I live by that scripture.
resonates.
I
It
literally
resonates.
listen. I
And you
literally
have
live.
experienced it.
I literally live by that scripture. My life on a daily basis
Right.
is lived out through that
Through
scripture.
that scripture. Yeah.
And not you see, I use the word steal because that's what the Bible say, and people just hear this and think, well, that's for those that steal. And no, she that was prostituting
Yeah.
should stop.
Prostituting. If you're fornicating,
He that was
don't
fornicating
If you're
should stop.
adulterous, stop the adultery.
The Bible use stealing,
Stealing, but you could.
but
you could
whatever you are doing
Yeah. As a believer.
as a believer,
as one that who is set free. You see, set free, but you still have some chains on your feet.
yeah.
You see?
Because so here, in a nutshell, let me give you a nutshell about the freedom. Now, my freedom depended on me
Right.
because I could have been delivered and still continue behind the females.
Yeah.
I could have
get
still
you now.
I
I
could have
get you.
still continue. Somebody could overpay me in business and I keep the
You
money,
keep the money. Yeah.
but I'm delivered.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not free.
Brother, let's show you. I just see that day. I laugh because I look at it, sometimes the devil or maybe sometimes God come to test us.
Yeah.
And I had such an experience a couple months back where a client, she overpaid me and she don't realize. Right? So I have like $2,550
Wow.
extra. And she don't know. Right? But here what I say to myself, I'll keep that money.
Yeah.
Because I know she just pay her insurance in pieces. When the time come, I would tell her. So I hold it because I'm beyond the relationship we had. Today, the client came. Renewal coming up soon. I say, I have something for you. She say, what? I say, well, I have some money for you still. And, because I know the person. I mean, I could have choose to tell her before. Most people might say, well, you hold it. But no, in my heart, God knows my heart. And I told my assistant, we hold that for her. So when she come and I tell her, she say, for real? And she's like, oh, I'm so happy. You understand? Because I know the client, the relationship. If somebody else and they're different, I would have given
them
them.
back
But the clients
right
have
away.
a big premium she does pay based on the business she has. So I know that money would come back and I need to help her. So I hold it and I say, all right, now your thing coming up. And she was so happy. She said, boy, you just make my day.
Yeah.
You check what I'm saying? But in my heart, if I stole it, but the point you're making is somebody
Can be
else
free.
that would have been blind. But how can you go to
Can be
bed and
free.
sleep
Can be free.
comfortable? And as I always say, thank God to my father. Right? Bro, this man break out that stealing thing from me. Only.
Yeah.
With that big, we used to call it the bullet belt.
Yeah.
You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
The big piece
Big
of
piece
leather
of leather
belt.
belt.
One time I go and thief the man fish. I thief the fish. He tell me go and sell it. He tell me go and bring the fish to a man, and I take the fish and I sold the fish.
Get the money.
So when I get the money and I come back, I show my cousin, she say, I say, I hide under the stone. I go and get a goat, and I come back, he say, why do the fish I give you? I say, oh dad, I give the man. He say, what do you do with the fish I give you? I say, I bring it for the man in summer too. He asked me the third time. I say, nah, but he probably know something. But I said, mutter. Before I just see the big bell come out and I get too fast. I skate out. But the point is, the man beat that thing out of Mr. Stanislaus.
Yeah.
And I grew up with that mindset. I can't, even though somebody don't know, it's not right for me to take what is theirs. I have to give you what is yours. You understand?
But I could only get to know that based on the Holy Spirit.
Is it the
based on the
difference?
Holy Spirit, because back then I would have never think about something like that. So and this is where the freedom freedom comes from after deliverance.
Yeah.
Because if I were to do anything contrary, it would take away my peace.
Yep. You can't sleep in the night. Conviction is great. The Holy Spirit tagging your mind unless you go and confess your fault. Yeah. There's no freedom, no peace.
Because one of the things in my years of criminal activity, I couldn't sleep. I had a lot of money,
but no peace.
I had a lot of money. I was doing a lot of craziness, but I couldn't sleep.
Wow. Because you're always on edge.
Always on edge. If the dog back,
you're up wondering if it's police. Yeah.
I wonder if it's police or if it's bad boy.
Yeah. Somebody coming
for it, or somebody coming. You understand that kind of thing. So I just couldn't sleep.
You know, so I've known you like 3 years now. Right? About 3 years. 3 years and a couple of months. 3 years and a couple of months. And COVID-19 was just the other day, you know, bro.
Yeah.
What's that for? I feel like I know you like 10 years are going. And if you didn't say it was 2019 COVID time way, nobody would know.
Yeah.
Seriously. You said that I didn't know that.
Because God has done, because what the Holy Spirit has done in my life,
yes. Give God the glory for that.
God has done something with me that He has done with other persons in the Bible.
Right.
In the sense of, and then one of the things that also, because I know God is working so powerfully in my life, I stays in the Word.
True. That's the only place
I stays in the Word, in the sense of, because I want to know if I'm in a relationship with God.
Right.
I need to know everything about God.
That's right.
If I'm in a relationship with my wife, I want to know everything about my wife. So now that I'm in a relationship with God, I want to know everything
you can possibly know
about God.
Yeah.
A day cannot pass.
Yeah. You had to be hungry. Bible says if you're hungry and you toss for righteousness, then you'll be filled. You have a part to play, and that's why I like when you say that the deliverance part is one, right? Or you say being set free. The Holy Spirit is one, but the deliverance is up to you.
Yeah, because deliverance is instant.
Yep.
But becoming free is a transition.
A continuous thing. That's what the Bible says. Be transformed. It's transformation by the renewing of the mind.
Because when you get delivered, what the Spirit does, it takes away those messed up demons from you, and the Holy Spirit fills you.
Yeah. So the desire is different.
But your flesh still, your flesh.
Well, look, it's not just the flesh only. You know. Check this. Check this, because remember, the Bible tells us when Jesus he said when that man was delivered, he said, the spirit leave the man, and he goes
roaming.
He get 10 more spirit, more wicked
than itself,
and he come back, and if he find that place empty, void, it will inhabit it, and the man become more
wicked.
The man state now is worse than how it was before. So
Yeah.
if you went through that and you did not say, boy, you see me, I say Jesus and I mean Jesus and I revive. God give me a new opportunity. If you didn't say that, brother, then me and you didn't have that conversation today.
Yeah.
You're gonna go and rob the bank as you was
Yeah,
planning. Even
yeah.
after all
Yeah,
of that.
yeah,
You're gonna
definitely.
get baptized
Definitely.
and you'll still do what you had to
Definitely.
do. Because you didn't take the opportunity to do what you had to do.
And this is where the freedom part comes.
That's right.
What you need to, as believers, young believers especially,
Yeah.
when you get delivered, don't just be happy and merry just for deliverance.
Oh,
You now
Christ.
need to fill yourself,
That's right.
your mind with new information, because the old information that you had before is what had you in bondage.
That's right.
So now you need to become free. You need to get new information, and that information needs to flood your mind.
That's right.
So that
So much so
everything that is
it becomes your modal operandum,
Absolutely.
your new, you call it your new MO.
A new
it become
MO.
your way how you function naturally.
Absolutely.
And anything contrary to that brings that discomfort to you. So much so you know, once you start to see, listen, you start to feel the pull, the tug, you know something,
something
up,
is wrong, yeah.
and you have to check yourself
and
because
then
you have a responsibility.
and then
you know?
that's where, and then when you start walking in freedom, that is where principle, because you
That's
see,
right.
when you start walking in freedom, then you start living by the principles of God.
Right.
And once you start living by the principles of God, you would you would never struggle.
Nah, your desires will change.
Your
God will
desire,
take you and make you so productive. Today I was in my office. I was the leader for myself. But when it's 5, and I thought flash through mind like the devil used to do back in my days.
Yeah.
You did by yourself and watch a little porn. And I'm like, what stupidness? And it's like, because that was one of my struggle as a young boy growing up for years. That was the thing that had me in chain.
yeah,
Pornography and sexual immorality, sex out of marriage, fornication. These 2 things had me chained, brother. Right? And I tell you, the thought customer, I just say, seriously, Satan, like, hey, Crumpin, like, seriously, you should have me know.
No,
But
no.
back in the days,
You fall for it.
5 years ago, I ain't lying for you. I was, bro, like a wind gonna blow. And I watched, the devil used to blow up upon sight in my ears, And, brother, you see how he was creative? I would get a thought to come in my mind out of nowhere, and I was suggesting on the internet.
Yeah, you
and I would get a sight. And I was like, what? Like, how that even happening? Because again, what I had carrying me.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And a lot of people out there, again, it was the word. Struggling with some of these sexual things was the word, because again, I had a mindset that unless I see that in the Bible, I'm a Christian, but hear me, unless I see that in the Bible, I don't believe,
You don't
what
believe
nobody tell
it's
me.
not true.
And I continue to live my Christian life for years, and guess what? These things affect me even later. It took a while. And as you say, you have to want it. You have to push for it. I started to get hunger, I get fed up by the sin. I say, God, help me with it. And then
No, so you see how you say if you don't see it in the Bible, then you don't believe that you need to follow, and that's where the information change. Yeah, because you see the thing, because you didn't see it word for word.
No, but that's true.
Does not mean
That is true.
that it doesn't mean that it don't exist or it's not there.
That is so true.
You
I
understand?
make an argument, and a podcast I watched last night as we wind down in this couple of minutes. She stated, "Oh, the Bible never the words sexual immorality. No, she said the word homosexual is never in the Bible. That the people using the Bible to abuse people and shit going on. But the word sexual immorality, and my wife was laughing because like, what is the base? What is the base? We have so many English words that we use now that's not in the Bible. Incarnation is not in the Bible, right? Jesus, you understand, right? So the word Trinity is not in the Bible.
In the Bible, yeah.
So some people will say
Rapture.
they're looking for it. Rapture.
Not in
You
the
understand
Bible,
what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, we understand the root.
Yeah.
Every word have a root.
Yeah.
And that's some of the deception the devil used to mess up the mind of
Yeah.
men and women who are in bondage, and they will believe some ideology because of what they're looking for. You understand? Nobody can convince them. When the Lord showed me, he said, self-gratification. Those who do that, self-gratification. Or as you said to the one word, this is wide, self-gratification. I look at it, he jumped out at me like, yeah, you got to find the deeds on the flesh.
Yeah.
But then the deeds of the flesh are vast. Because the Bible tells us about the works of the flesh.
works of
And
the
it shows
flesh, exactly.
how much they are. You understand? So,
And now it's amazing now because I mean, boy, my home,
yeah.
and again, it's not perfect,
Nobody is.
but I thank God because He preserved my marriage, right?
yeah, boy, me too. I thank
Because-
God I preserve your marriage. Honestly.
because for the first 10, let's say 10 years of my, maybe even more, 15 years of my marriage, people will watch us now and say, I hear young women say, I want a marriage like that.
Yeah. You
But
sure?
but are you really willing to go through that 15 years that we went through?
I feel like inviting all to come and join me Friday night. Yeah.
So-
But another different conversation.
To reach to that point where
Yeah.
the husband, where I understand my role and my wife understand her role,
Yeah.
and we are willing to compromise
Compromise when
to
necessary.
to serve each other.
Yes.
You understand? To
Great word.
serve each other so that your marriage could be a marriage where God is in the center, and then other people can see it. And don't glorify me,
No. it's
glorify
not you.
God.
It's not
Because
you.
there is
Fuck
nothing special about what I doing.
Yeah.
I think my wife and I reach a point where, because even when we just got saved, brother, because my wife and I get baptized together,
Right.
and when before I had my intervention, my house, I believe my house was at peace. But when the day after we got baptized, it's like the devil come and live in the house. The devil come and reside in the house because there was no
And
way.
imagine you give life to Jesus and you say, well, now man, they're on a good road. It's like,
And I'm all spiritual now. She all spiritual.
spiritual.
I all spiritual. So everything now is that's not what the word say. And, that kind of self-righteous zeal.
Yeah,
Exactly.
zeal. Without knowledge.
So that we're trying to use the word on each other,
Each other.
against each other.
Yeah.
And the devil have us fighting against each other like if both of us is enemy. But Lord, thank you, because eventually God showed us, taught us how we need to live as one, submit ourselves unto Him. Not just I want
it's
my
a
wife to
constant-
submit.
Constant work in
Yeah, man,
progress.
yeah, man,
You
yeah,
understand?
Yeah, man.
I mean, we don't boast in ourselves. I can tell you that if ever you have a testimony, it's never about what you have done, because Brother Alister would have never be able to do that by himself.
No.
It really takes God. Some people, you encounter God in different ways, but the Spirit of the Lord is real. Me, I was like, God, save me. If you save me, I will serve you. And when God saved me from Ivan, right,
Gone
I
right
gone
back.
back. In fact, it get worse. It's like, I became a magnet to the chicks, and the red girls that I wanted, these were the ones that was coming at me. And
Because the devil understands.
And the trophy was,
Knows.
there was this red girl that I really like, and I said I could never get that. Somehow, I didn't even know how it happened. All right, walking home one night, and the voice of the Lord said to me, "Go to church, get baptized, change the way you live in, or else you go die and go in hell." I said, "Who talking to me there?" And I walk in the road, I just come out and sleep with that woman, right? At 19 years old, brother. I hear the voice again, go to church, get saved, or get baptized, otherwise you'll die and go in hell. A fear gripped me. I went home. And I reached only morning, I get up, I was a DJ, play music in the club, when I get like opportunity in the community. Another thing, I testify.
Yeah.
I get up in the morning, I take art, everything that I like, music. I take everything and I throw it out. Throw it in the bush. My brother and I say, boy, you crazy. I start going to church the next Sunday. I go in church, the Spirit of the Lord touch me. Right? My partner understand what I do. Gondi, now they say coming. Gondi, come to you, boy. In my mind, I experienced a piece of washing day. It's like, wow, Pastor, don't pray for me yet. And I want people to understand.
Yeah.
I didn't go up to the altar at that point to receive anything. In fact, what happened to me, I was quenching the Spirit long, because before that happened to me, then it happened to me before, but I didn't know I get afraid.
Oh.
I used to read my Bible. And I started the car teacher. I said, tell me to read the Bible.
And you got convicted.
So when I
and you
opened the
didn't even know.
Bible, I read in Revelation, but I get afraid. I started to cry. I said, nah, boy, anytime I read this Bible, I cry.
Yeah.
But I closed the Bible, I stopped reading. Then I nearly died the first time. And then he died the second time. And then he died the third time. You understand? So I eventually died. I know for sure. God saved me. And then I nearly drunk one time. And there was another time when a big grandma ruled over me. I get an operation and a big cut. Right? The doctor said if I came, remember that came, if I come 2 hours later, that was it. Emergency thing. And I go and sleep the night that way. When I go in the medical center, they say they can't help me. They say they had to bring that boy in the hospital. All I know when I reach them, I get dim and they give me a mint to soak. And that was like, I put a big plaster on my belly. And I bought a cut. Yeah, operation cut. Not like them now, we put butterfly stitch and they don't see it again.
Okay.
This big stitch in the belly, about 10 inches long.
Wow.
You understand? 10 inches long, yeah. And they say they had to take out the clot blood inside of me. You understand? I was like 9, 10 years old. All that while God still, you know, he's still talking to me, you know, but I just ain't sure what happened. Like I ain't grew up in the environment. You check what I'm saying?
The thing we now understand as
No.
believers,
Yes.
that even when we knew we didn't want nothing to do with God, we didn't
God
know
still-
God.
Even while they were
God's
yet sinners. Yes.
God was preserving
Still
our life.
preserving our lives.
And there are a lot of people out there, right? God has preserved your life.
Still is, eh?
And He preserving your life for a reason.
It's called mercy.
Because there's
Yes.
something inside of you
That he needs.
that He needs, that the world,
Yeah.
that He needs the world to
hear.
experience.
And it doesn't matter if it's 2 persons that are to hear it. Your testimony is something that, you know why I started this program and why the Lord laid on my heart. And I know I heard your testimony before, but tonight I hear it in a whole different way again. But here the thing, I believe Christians are too afraid. And I want to call it Christians.
To tell the testimony.
Let's tell the world
Yeah.
what Jesus has done for us. Not just Grenada, anywhere in the world. Anytime you get opportunity to share your testimony, no matter if you say it already, if God call on you to share your testimony, take the opportunity
Absolutely.
and show that God is still God who He is, and His word still works, and He's still delivering people. You know what the difference is? Some people, because they don't humble in themselves, and God sometimes has put us in some kind of situation to get your attention. Some of us had to almost die before we could say yes to God when He's speaking to us all the time. Go on.
But you know, some people are still embarrassed to tell their testimony.
No,
Let me tell
Christians, you mean, eh?
Christians. I'm talking
Yes,
about Christians.
Christians.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen. When you get saved, God forgive your sins.
You're no longer that person.
You're no longer that person. What you used to do in the past is behind you. You now could talk about it freely because you're no longer doing that.
Yes.
This is one of the reasons why for
You don't
me.
get it right?
This is one of the reasons for me I can tell my testimony, because
That's not you again.
that's no longer me. I want to show people this is who I used to be.
Yeah.
But God has turned me around. And listen,
That's right.
whether you believe it or not,
That's your business.
it don't matter to me.
Yeah, as I always say, I ain't shame.
But if the seed can be planted,
Yeah.
and you can say, well, if God changed this man who was that type of person, I know He can also do it for me.
Of course.
And I'm saying this now to an unbeliever,
Yeah.
right, who may be listening all day. If God has changed this man who was so far gone,
Who are you?
and who am I? I could still change.
Yeah.
God could turn my life around.
And who are you for God not to save you? Who are you for you can? Yeah. You was an adulterer. I was an adulterer.
Exactly.
I was a man. I married 12 years and I committed adultery. Almost listen, I thought I was in that 12 years of marriage.
Yeah.
I thought I was really, there wasn't a month that I wasn't unfaithful to my wife. And I'm going to get you wrong. Look, adultery is far and wide beyond just going and have sexual intercourse with another woman. Right? If you sit down, if you're married and you're entertaining pornography, you're committing adultery.
If you're watching other women
with lust in your eye, you're
lust in
committing
your eyes,
adultery.
exactly.
If you're entertaining other women, you're either fornication as a married man, you're committing adultery.
Exactly.
And there are times I struggle with this thing and I crying to God. You see, God had to break us and don't get tied up.
Yeah.
What I show you there and what I show you now is, listen, there were seeds that were planted in us from youth.
Young.
And we grow into things. So yes, you reach a point where you come to a place where you say, God, I acknowledge you, God, now. But God had this, is like a fish. You catch it, and you have to coat it, lest you stink. And what's inside it will spoil everything outside it. So God had to clean you out, right? So some people, Paul says it, some of them are drinking milk still. And some people eating solid food. Some could accept certain things. Some still don't know. They still struggling, so they do. But you have to know where you are, and you have to become soft for the word of God, for truth. Because if you're getting folly, I'm sorry for you. You're in no mess.
I want before I want to do something. I
Go
want to
ahead,
save
then.
a marriage tonight.
Go ahead,
I want
brother.
to save a marriage. Because one of the things that the enemy uses right now the most, you see that cell phone?
Hey, brother, man.
That cell phone is destroying too much marriage.
Yes, truth.
Because people say a lot of time people say adultery, money, sex, and those kind of things. No communication. But you see that cell phone? That cell phone is destroying a lot of marriage. And brothers, let me tell you something. If you're in a marriage and you still have to have a password on your phone that your wife don't know, you are encouraging problems in your marriage. And this is not just for believers, This is for unbelievers also, because marriage, the devil don't care if you're an unbeliever or if you're a believer when it comes to marriage. God loves marriage, he hates it. So that cell phone situation, get it under control. You see, because when you get that cell phone, you see all the wives, the reason why wives like or girlfriend like juking up that cell phone, I mean, not girlfriend, wives, like going into that cell phone, is because that cell phone is being used as an idol,
Pacifier.
as a pacifier.
And you're not present.
And if they have to keep going in that cell phone and accusing you, it's a problem.
And one of the next aspect of it too for men, and I know I said I was saying, I don't know if you attend Friday night because you want to have a special. No, my wife says she can't do that Friday night. We have something else Friday night.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
was throwing an idea at me for tomorrow, so I'm way too sudden for you. But the part of where social media, because you have to know yourself. I don't have Instagram on my phone. I can't handle it. I don't have TikTok. I can't handle it
Need a
either.
face.
Yeah. Our Facebook bars manage it, and I manage it in such a way that I try not to let it get the best of me, because you could get carried away if you're not paying attention, right? But the reason why I don't have the other things, because I know myself. Instagram are too much a sexy woman, so to speak, for me. I can't manage
showing
that.
something. Yeah.
If for your tone is somebody shaking something in your face and a man go say, well, the algorithm, what? I don't care. I don't want it. Uninstall and not on my phone. Right? Yes, my wife pass to my phone and no Stanislaus. But I also had to know myself and know the things that will cause me to drift away from God.
Yeah.
And because the devil is very cunning. You understand? It's tricky. And if you don't know yourself, he take advantage of you. And you have to be open as a man. Be
what you
open.
like.
Yeah, man. What you mean? For your turn twice. You see? So sometimes you ain't go looking for it, but it popped up. Watch it for 2 seconds. Yeah, the algorithm, just 2 seconds. Yeah, you want to watch more?
Every time you go
you're
down.
getting it again. And I know all you know it, that's the thing. What you know is knowing. It's just like, the Bible say, it's not just become a hearer of the word, but become a doer. You understand? And we have to learn to press on as men, encourage each other. I collaborate this morning because, man, I just call him to encourage him. I'm glad I call him, because we have to stand out there for one another as men. You understand? And in general, women do the same for women, because even then, we encouraging you to go and encourage another woman. That is emotional adultery, where you go and try to, you have to use your brain. If God called in a certain area, you still have to use wisdom, because your own good
could work against you.
And let me show you that.
The Bible says, don't let your
good be evil spoken
of.
But not just that, the devil didn't come and speak true, false. What's false?
Speak the truth.
He come and speak the truth to tie up. So again, pay attention. You know what, brother Stanley?
And before we close, I said men, but also women too, because women also put passwords on their phone and their husband don't know.
Don't know the password.
So we have to be mindful of these simple things, because if your husband doesn't know your password, your wife doesn't know your password, it means that you're hiding something.
Yeah.
And in a marriage supposed to be open.
I just forgot my wife's phone. She have it for the children, not for me. But you know, my,
Yeah, it's
but I
supposed.
forget I was at
And when you
Alaska.
get when you that because that is part of freedom, eh?
Of course.
That
Boy,
is
that's
part
a whole
that
different
is part of
conversation.
freedom, eh?
That's a whole conversation for itself.
Yeah, for
Right?
itself.
Because and we talk about that before. Being naked and unashamed is such
Yeah.
a great principle. And the
Yeah.
man knew his wife, and they both were
They
naked.
both were naked
Yeah,
and was
sexually,
unashamed.
you know,
Yeah.
sexually, but also they were naked to each other.
Yeah.
You know, they
See all each other for
so once you
flaws.
can get to that
Yeah.
place, you don't have to be ashamed because that person have your back.
Yeah.
But you don't want to go in that alley because if you go there, you know you go till 11 o'clock. But Brother Stanley, I want to say thank you
Yeah, man.
for taking the time to come and, you know, share your testimony very extensively. I wish I could just take that recording and cut it up in about 4 and get the words for you so I could give you the book. Because I need to write a book.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
title of the book, you already know what it is already, you know what I mean? So by God's grace, one day you'll come back and we go into the book.
Yeah.
The book
Yeah,
is
definitely.
important.
Soon.
You know, soon.
Soon, very, very
Yeah,
soon.
yeah,
And
Telling
not just one, but multiple.
Multiple books.
Multiple
yeah,
books
Yeah, yeah.
inside
You
of me.
understand? So I mean, what is it? We say thanks to God,
Yeah,
thank you to the
yeah.
Lord for, you know, this opportunity. I'm just trying to get us together, right? For this great opportunity just to be able to just testify about his goodness. And if you were encouraged tonight, you know, still do take an opportunity and share this. Stream with someone. I believe they would find that even as they listen to my brother situation from his past and who he is today, I know this man is a new creation. I know this man. I can stand here and I can attest to that. You understand? And if you don't know my brother, you don't know he past, you don't know nothing what you tell you tonight. And that's when God transform your life. I want to encourage you to continue pressing, continue to be a great example to the believers and also in your home especially, because that's your first altar.
Yeah.
You see? And for me, that's what I'm trying to do. I try my best to make sure I lead my home. And I believe as God we continue to surrender to God, He would use us in tremendous ways.
Amen.
You understand?
Amen.
So guys, thank you again. Those of you who are listening on the radio, it was good to have you tonight. And those of you who stayed with us to this hour on Facebook or YouTube, I want to say God blessings upon your life. So until next time, God blessing. Peace out. Shalom.
Woo.
Papa, oh, flow through Grenada, Lord, release your fire now. Papa, oh, flow through Grenada, Lord, release your fire now.